Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, I'm Ray. This is our final episode of 2023. And of course, Matt Fisher from Scissorfist, he is back with us. Of course, Matt.
How you doing, Ray?
Good, man. Good. So, of course, that was this is the last episode where, of course, shout out to Roses Unread. Their song Creatures has been our intro theme for the last 6 months. So, real quick, before we have our guest Freya come in, Matt, what I want you to do is I want you, because of course, since this is the ending of our song for this chapter of the HHPod going into the new year, why don't you announce what our intro song is going to be for from January to June?
The new song is the recent Scissorfist track called Burden. It's available on all the streaming platforms. Anyone that you wish to use, you can find it there. Or you can go to Bandcamp and download it and pay for it if you want. It's a banger, and I'm honored to be a part of this lovely established podcast.
Yeah, so, and I mean, that's the thing. So you will hear Burden. That's our official.
This shit's hard.
On January 6th. Our January 6th episode will be when that debuts as our newest theme. So, of course, we're right here on YouTube Live. And, of course, as always, on Roku and Fire TV via Pod Nation TV. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and let Freya in here, and then we're going to rock and roll. And, of course, the last year for this show, like, I can't even sit there. I'm going to get a little bit into it a little bit later on, but the last year of this show has been absolutely amazing. And hey, there's our guest right there. There's Freya Von Doom, who's joining us on the show right now. It still says she's connecting audio, so she should be ready to rock and roll there in a minute. But no, the last year has been amazing. Of course, we're now monetized on YouTube. Of course, the Roku TV, all that stuff has came in the past year for us. So, all kinds of things have happened for us. So, of course, an amazing outing at Exotica this year, which was fun. Yeah, how you doing? How are you? Welcome to the show.
You got to hit the unmute button.
Oh, yeah, you got to hit here. Let me.
You have the little or you have it unmuted. I don't know.
Here, I'll hit it from my side, and they'll ask her to unmute. There we go. How you doing?
Still nothing.
Still nothing. She's still silent. Says she's connecting. All right, there we go. So let's see.
Me now.
Oh,
there she is.
How you doing? Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us for our final episode of 2023, which 2023 has been one hell of a roller coaster ride on this show. And Freya, I don't know if you did any research on the show before coming on, but of course it goes a little bit of everywhere, anywhere. We just don't come on and ask you 10 million questions. We may talk about sex. We may not talk about sex. We have news articles. We have all kinds of other fun stuff. And real quick, Freya, what are you drinking? Of course, this is the Happy Hour podcast. So what do you got?
Yeah. I am sipping on my favorite drink of all time, Jameson.
My kind of fucking woman. Hell yeah.
Oh, shout out Jameson.
Actually, last year or the year before that, I made a Jameson Christmas tree, all out Jameson Christmas bottles, and it got
nice.
So
fuck yeah, that's dope.
Nice. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into our current feature beer, which is the last night of our current feature beer, which is by Abita Brewing Company. It is Christmas Ale. So go out. You may still see some of this. It is Santa Claus with his trusty alligators flying him through the skies. And of course, always love it whenever they put a nice little description.
How were you guys when you guys made that? Santa Claus with fucking alligators.
Yeah. And it says Christmas Ale. Each year at the Abita Brewing Company, we craft a special dark ale for the holiday season. Then Papa Noel harnesses up his team of gators and makes his special delivery. The recipe changes each year so that Abita Christmas Ale is always the perfect gift. So go out and pick some of this up.
Is that like brewed in Florida or something?
I believe. Where did it say?
It's gotta fucking be right.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that would be the whole gimmick.
Guy flying gators, I would imagine. So I gotta look it up 100%. Oh no, wait, Abita Springs, L.A., Louisiana. So that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that works too. They got gators down there too. I'll see swamp people.
So do you like that beer?
What's up?
Do you like it?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I love it. So if you go out, make sure you go out, try the Christmas ale. What we end up with, I'm glad this isn't an IPA. We end up with so many IPAs on the show, and I'm not a huge IPA guy, but especially in Baltimore, there's just so many everywhere. So anytime I can get out of doing an an IPA. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do also is, because we forgot about it last week, is our featured shot. So of course our featured shot, shout out to Bacardi Gold. So that is our current featured shot. I always say Bacardi is a good mixer. Bacardi's not like a good, like, drink it on your own type thing. Of course, Freya may disagree because she's drinking her Jameson straight down, which is the only way to drink Jameson straight down.
Cheers.
I would have known. I would have got some Jameson, and we could have just rocked it. So,
I'm actually kind of like laying off the booze for like, I'm trying to for like a month. I'm not some sort of thing where I'm like, oh, I'm attending AA, and all that shit. No, I just like, I've thoroughly punished myself for, the most of my life. So it's like, maybe I'll try giving it a rest. It ain't like a New Year's resolution, just to be clear on that.
So Freya, so you're a big Jameson fan. So what's the worst night you've ever had with Jameson?
The worst night I've ever had with Jameson is when I mixed Jameson, tequila, and Goldschlager together.
Oh, God.
That was a horrible time.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. I ended up blacking out, and I woke up on a park bench with glitter on me and dressing. So, we're like 21, 22 out there partying constantly, and you're like, oh, fuck it. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, this is not where I should have been.
Yeah. Those days are well behind me at this point.
Yeah, those days are well behind me too. But when I think of the age range of 20 to 25, around the age when I met my wife, roughly, I'm like, there's a lot of darkness there. And that's mainly because there were a lot of blackouts, and we would drink from
that's when it was like
Thursday
a fucking
to Sunday, and then Sunday to Wednesday. And that's just the way that it works. So Freya, of course, you are in the adult film industry. Of course, most of it, 99.9% of our guests are, and you're relatively short. So you are relatively short. So how often do you do movies with like giant men? Like, I'm talking about like someone that's like 7 foot or 8 foot tall, because I don't know why, like when I see someone that's shorter, like my mind automatically goes to, I need to see like a really short person and a really tall. I don't know why. Like, do you ever have that? Like, do you get requests if someone's like, look, I need you to be with a giant?
I get that request constantly from all my fans because I'm only 4'8".
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, for me, everyone's giant. If you're 5'2", I'm like, be 5'5", kind of thing. So for me, everyone's giant. But I had a lot of requests to work with really big people like Rocky Emerson and stuff, because she's like 6 foot something.
Yeah.
And then to work with like Javon Jordan, he's one of my good friends, and he's 6'6", and I'm literally I do blowjob scenes with him standing up because I'm after his. So yeah, so I work with a lot of really tall people, and I get a request for a lot, and mostly I work with bigger people because I'm so small, so it's that huge like whoa shock factor.
And with that, of course, you said you're 4'8". So with that, with dwarfism, what is like the actual requirements of that? Like, are you a little bit above that, or
I think she is.
like I believe you are, but what, like, do you know what that actually is? Is it like
I
3
think,
foot and below?
So I think dwarfism is like when they're actually like they have like some
there's features.
yeah to them, and I'm just super tiny. Like I'm just like pocket size, like just. So I would say I don't even know what I am, because I wanted to call myself like a midget because I didn't really have any of those features. But then when I see all these people that are midgets, they all like nobody looks like me that's my height. Let me just put it that way. Like I don't understand. So I don't feel like I fit in any of those categories because I don't have any deformities, and I don't have like that body type of a usual midget. Like I don't have those. I'm trying not to like hurt people's feelings or anything, but having like those.
We call them little people.
Yeah, I'm a little like I like to say I'm fucking Thumbelina, because like I'm just a tiny little like fairy floating around. But yeah, I don't know what category I'm in, because I am technically in that 8, like that size. Like I'm supposed to be in a fucking what's it called, booster seat in the car. Because
really?
I'm the height of a 10-year-old. So, and I just found that out because one of my friends, he had a baby, and his kid is like 2-3 years old now, and he wants to get out of his fucking seat. And so he made his dad Google it, and we cracked up so hard because I'm the height of somebody that should be in a seat in the back seat on a little child booster. So that was interesting to find.
Have you ever gone somewhere and you like of course you go into restaurants and stuff like that, and you have like the booth. Have you ever went in and like the table was just a little like too high and like you kind of like had to hold
Oh
your.
yeah, all the time. Like you can see when I go out clubbing, even when I wear high heels, the bar is like up to here on me, and I'm like, "Hello, you hear me?"
You're
Forget-
100% getting carded
Oh
outside.
yeah, all the time. I
Yeah. Yeah, I was
I
gonna say I'd look at your ID and still not believe you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, this is bullshit. There's no, ain't
I
no way.
always have to drop facts. I'm like, I remember Ren and Stimpy, the Angry Bee. I was born during Drake and Andy. Like, I have to drop facts on some bartenders or bouncers, and they're like, "Oh shit, I don't even know that." I'm like, I could be your mom, like, bro.
That's
it's
great. So
I
like
get
you,
carded everywhere. I love it. I used to hate getting carded, but now I fucking live for it. If I don't
Yeah.
get carded now, I'm like, what the hell? Am I starting to lift my age? Like, no. No.
it's insane because like I don't smoke. My wife smokes, so I go out every so often. I pick up cigarettes for her. And like me, like I like since high school, I've always had the beard, so I've always looked older than what I actually am. And like I have a lot of gray coming through and all that now, so like I rarely ever get carded. I rarely ever got carded before I needed to be carded. And so it's the thing that I went out last week and I actually got carded, and I just kind of looked at the person like, really, like. I have like the gray in my beard, like like it's like I'm 38. Like I don't look like I'm at least 40. Like come on, and I felt a little good, but I was just kind of like,
You're
okay.
like, what the hell? I mean, did it make you feel good though?
I mean, a little bit, but it was more of just so I just want to get my shin leave. Like,
Okay, that's
Right.
it. You just have to
I
age
can
your
see if Freya's next to me and she looks like a toddler.
heart.
Like,
I'm like at your nipple height.
yeah.
Yeah, they do that sometimes, like where they have to scan the ID and shit too. I feel like they just randomly, like at convenience stores, will like buckle down like one week and like they will scan the back of like your driver's license. I know that they've done that to me a couple of times.
Yeah, no.
But I mean,
especially-
they ask me for the ID, but it's in a manner of like we kind of know you're of age, but we're being forced to do this right now. I've only seen like fucking Wawa and Royal Farms do that shit.
My favorite is I've accidentally washed my wallet in my pants at least 3 times. Like I would forget that it was there. So the barcode is all fucked up. So my favorite is when they go to scan the barcode and they're hitting this bitch like 40 fucking times. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not going to work. Like it's fucked up from being washed like a half dozen times. And Freya, of course, we brought up like a request. So of course, one of my favorite questions is what are the oddest requests you get? I know Pornhub just released like its most requested and clips for sale. Giantism or whatever it is, giantess or whatever it is called is a big thing where people want you to take
Giantess. You keep saying it, and just giant tits keeps coming out of his mouth. But
what's the oddest request you get?
The oddest request? Like
Yeah.
the oddest constant request or like the oddest request in general? Like
Just in general, what pops right into your mind when we ask?
well, there's this one guy that likes for me to cover myself up to my knees in peanut butter and like my feet, everything up to peanut butter. And I'll put my camera right here. And he just literally, he wants the camera, my feet to here. And I'll be watching Netflix and we'll watch the shows together. And he just hangs out with my feet like that, like just about every other week. And he'll talk to my feet.
This shit drives me insane. I need some fucking passive income like that, yo. Like I would sign my girl up in a fucking heartbeat. Like babe, go get us paid.
I'm so glad I asked these questions. So with the peanut butter, so you do that with the peanut butter.
Yeah.
How much do you go through a whole jar of peanut butter when you do this? Like, and do you use like a specific brand? Like, is one brand better than the other for like, the whole cover yourself down with it and then, watch movies? Like, does one like stick more than the other or anything like that?
I don't really notice too much. I usually just grab whatever peanut butter I can reach. No, I'm just kidding. He likes the smooth peanut butter.
Yeah, you got to go with smooth, and I would recommend Jiffy. Or Jif, not Jiffy, Jif. That we use that around my house.
How dare you Mandela affect us, the Jiffy? Jiffy never existed, you bastard.
Oh no, there was Jiffy popcorn, and then there's Skippy peanut, and that's it. I used to work at a grocery store, should know this shit.
So when you have the peanut butter and you put it on, have you ever done the thing where like you kind of like rub your toes together and feel like the peanut butter like just sloshed back and forth like in between?
Yeah. They love that shit. They love it. Like they're silent so they can hear it. And then they're just like, oh my God, yeah. Like they lose their shit over that. So I just like I literally will just hang out with this guy for like an hour or 2 hours and watch Netflix, and he'll just like talk to my leg about whatever is going on in his life. Like he talks to my legs like as if we're married twice like every couple weeks, and like he'll talk about like work, his life, where he's up to, what he's doing, and at the end he always says bye honey, gives his phone a kiss, like no masturbation, nothing, and just leaves. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like that's the easiest, like that's the weirdest thing that I get on the regular.
Yeah. It's like, forget the rest of you, but your leg with the peanut. Hey, would you fuck him up if one day you randomly came on and you had the one leg in peanut butter and then the later leg was jelly? Would that like throw his whole fucking mojo off if like you just
You know
randomly?
what? Maybe. Probably. Because I know he likes peanut butter sandwiches and stuff, but we've never talked about jelly. So I have to ask him about jelly. I'll let you guys know. But I feel like probably it's gonna be a no just because nobody just eats peanut butter sandwiches.
Or
So-
you could go with like with that marshmallow fluff for like the fluffer
yeah.
nutter.
Yeah. Marshmallow fluff and peanut butter. My wife does that. Marshmallow fluff.
I did it in high school when I was stoned. That was about the only time I've done that. But yeah, they call them fluffer nutters.
Yes.
Which sounds like a fucking porno scene fucking term anyway.
It is a fluffer.
Yeah. Like you got like it just that sounds like something that would be in existence anyway.
Yeah, and it's funny because like has he ever actually sat there and asked you like, hey, can you just bring out bread and you just like run it up your leg and then you take and you rub that up your leg and then you just smack it together into like a sandwich and then he just watch like that I feel like that would be the jerk off. That would be the whole, you rub it up your leg and then you just put the sandwich together and you eat it, and then that's when he just goes nuts. Like,
I listen. If the guy's doing this consistently and paying her for her time, I wouldn't be fucking this up. That sounds like you know what I mean? Let's not complicate a good thing.
It's funny because it's not even sexual. Like I wish that like he did something weird at the end, but he never does. Like he just literally talks about his life, fully clothed and everything, to my legs, and then he'll log off.
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like, at least ask for like one.
Can I do anything? So I'm like, okay, that's okay, cool.
Yeah, at least ask for one tit to be Smuckers and the other to be like Peter Pan.
Yeah,
like
but even in the video, he doesn't want to see me. He just wants to see my legs and feet. Like I'm not in it like at all. He could care less what I'm doing with my life.
It's just like just one day I want you to do the pumice peanut butter. The peanut butter, it looks like it has the pumice in it.
I mean, I always say this shit when you have folks in the adult entertainment industry. Every single fucking time, I'm always like, put these motherfuckers on a watch list. like
the most random shit.
Yeah, like when it gets weird like that, it's like, listen, I'm sure that they're wonderful people, but I'm just saying, just let's circle that one. Yeah. We have a lot of mass shootings in this country.
And of course, we're here on YouTube Live, so make sure you send over your questions. Of course, shout out to Jason. Jason's our #1 fan. We had him coronated, which means he had the shit beaten out of him at Exotica by Janine Jericho and Justice Jordan to be coronated as our #1 fan at Exotica. So he just commented, he's like, Ray, you know what I'm gonna ask. So Jason is obsessed with pee play. So have you ever done anything with pee? Have you ever been the pisser or the pissy in the adult world?
A lot. I actually have a fetish for pee play too, so that's awesome. Yeah. But if you want to talk scenes, I've done a lot of scenes in my earlier career, but recently my most recent scene that has pee in it was for Evil Angel.
Okay.
And it was with Danny Steele. And I was such a freak over there. Like the owner, he loves me. He like texts me all the time to come back. But like freaking, I had Danny Steele because I had him pee all over my body, and he had a lot of pee going on. So I was like, fuck it, let's put it in a measuring cup. And at the end, before I say bye to everyone, I pour it all over myself when I'm all cum covered and shit like that. So I had him pee in a measuring cup, and then at the end, when you because I don't know if you've ever seen the Evil Angel.
It just looks like chicken broth. So it's just like, why is she telling me chicken broth? Like that yellow, like viscous.
So it's just like, ooh, and I just had him like pee on it, and then I just dripped it all. But I was already covered in piss and like cum at that point anyway. But I added that extra little touch. So I love piss play, and that's my most recent scene with piss play that's out there. But I prefer to give piss play because for me it's like the idea of release. it's really sexy. That's also why I like blood play and all that too, because it's the idea of your body releasing itself. And so like I like to do it on people, and then sometimes it depends on the person. I like it done on me because I like to look at them when it's happening and seeing like
So
that.
how do you do blood play? How does one go into blood play? Is it the kind of thing where you like just like you're mid like blowjob and then you just slice them and then like blood just comes out and it's just like you're just letting it just rain upon you? You just lay down as like the blood just sprinkles, just like fucking faucets just all over you. Like, how does one get into that?
I fucking wish it worked like that. No, but so there's a few different ways you can use knives. Like during sex, you can prick them or like hold it up to them and then tell them don't fucking move or else you're gonna cut yourself. So it's a form of control too, like tease and denial as well. And then so usually if they prick themselves, then I like to play around with the blood. Like sometimes I'll carve my like little F in them or something. And then for girls, I like to fuck them when they're on their period because when they come, then it's like, and I pull out and they're like squirting on me, then it's just blood all over me. And I have a huge fetish for blood and that for some reason. So it really, I'll come like instantly on that time. So it really varies on like who you're with and what they're comfortable doing to the extent of it. Because knife play, blood play bleed in together, unless if you're doing like period blood play, which I'm just a freak. So I like that shit. So I was like, yeah. So it really varies.
So you've experienced what it's like to be a Metallica album, I guess. So the Metallica Reload album, which is sperm and blood mixed together. I'm guessing.
And then Reload was piss and blood.
Yeah, you make a beautiful concoction.
Have you ever considered like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because I never have.
I hope he's
Me either. Well, I was raised Catholic, but I'm recovering from that shit.
It's okay. I like to go to hell and party with the sinners.
Yeah, I feel like, and I say this a lot.
Not that kind of party. Sorry, I'm passing on all that shit.
I apologize to everybody who watches this show. I feel like the older and older I get, the harder and harder it is to believe in that kind of shit anymore. Like, it's like, I feel like we have more substantial evidence of aliens and dinosaurs and shit like that. And it's like, why don't we just at least have like a lop of hair? Something
It's
out there. Yeah.
It's our favorite toy, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's back to the bleeding and the pissing.
Anyways, one of the things I want to jump into is that McDonald's recently on December 11th just re-released the adult, and this show bounces around like that. Freya, you're looking around like, how the fuck do we go?
I'm just laughing like
this, and that's how
this blood McDonald's
works. Like, so McDonald's just recently re-released adult Happy Meals. Have you heard about that? The adult Happy Meals are back. I never even knew there were adult Happy Meals to begin with. But I remember the Happy Meal toys when we were kids were just elite over anything else. So recently, McDonald's released, it said adult Happy Meal toys will return to McDonald's soon, this time with a nostalgic 80s toy. So it said the new Kerwin Frost box, which, mind you, I have no idea who the fuck Kerwin Frost is. Apparently, he's some sort of influencer. It says it's the fast food chain's newest spin on childhood classics, set to arrive in U.S. restaurants starting on December 11th. So apparently, you remember the little McNuggets guys?
Yeah. You know what? I was wondering what the fuck this was. I was in McDonald's last week and I saw the little McNugget dudes, but I just figured that. I didn't know that was an adult Happy Meal. I thought that's what the kids were getting.
It's a gigantic box that like they release now. So here, I'm going to pull this up on here. So there's a gigantic, like this is the McDonald's.
This is just what America needs.
Look at the size of that box. Like that thing have like 9 cheeseburgers in that. I mean, look, like it has McNuggets.
The person carrying that box is me. So
Freya can fit in that box.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, you should adopt the name.
Yeah. Oh, so
I'm the adult Happy Meal.
Yes, I'll pop out of a box.
I can be like Freya Von Adult Happy Meal Doom. No, but it's not. This is completely off topic. This is just coincidence, but I have a friend. They're in a band called Earthworm Von Doom.
Oh. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're a very strange like noisecore band.
Yeah.
Where does the Von Doom come from, actually?
Victor Von Doom.
God damn it. I was going to ask, I'd be like, I hope it has some sort of relation to Victor Von Doom, who is potentially probably going to replace Jonathan Majors as the main villain in Marvel right now. And you said it, I was like, God damn it. Like, now I want to miss piss, sperm, and blood together and just chug that shit down. I'm just so overly excited that it is based off of Victor Von Doom. So
a lot, like, I don't know if you guys know, but I went to school originally. I have a degree in screenwriting and production and a master's in business entertainment. And I originally went to college for comic book writing.
Oh shit.
No shit.
So when I started off in the adult film industry, I was still like in college in the earlier years before I changed my degree to screenwriting and production. So I thought, what's a better name than like Victor Von Doom? Because I thought, like, if you see my name on a piece of paper, it's gonna stand out and people are gonna Google.
Yeah, for real. It's clever. Like I dig it. And like, I mean, I always like their stupid. You can't see it, but I have a bar top and there's like band stickers and then it's like an acrylic epoxy topping, and like I know one of their stickers is on here, and I always and I was like, it's a silly name, but like when you see it on a flyer for something, you're like, Earthworm Von Doom. I gotta see what that's about.
To look it up, like, and that's what the main thing when I work as a when I work with multiple directors I've never like worked with before that are newer to who I am, they're always like, holy shit, that makes so much sense. We had to look you up because we saw your name on a list of all these other girls and we're like, who the fuck is Freya Von Doom? For marketing purposes, that stood out so much, and that was a big part of my process in choosing my whole name.
Nice. That is good shit. And so you said
branding is everything.
Yeah, you said you did comic book writing. So have you actually done like any writing?
Yeah, have you ever followed through on any of that?
Yeah.
Not like comic books, but for like I work in mainstream as well, so I'm not only in porn, I work in mainstream on television, commercial, music videos, all that stuff too. So I work on both sides of the industry. Unfortunately, I've never done anything in comic books, but I think it would be awesome to do that maybe as like a passion project.
Oh,
like
yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, like, you know, just make it. I don't know, like you could. I don't like.
Crazy little Minx runs around like her hobbit hole and just fucks everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, or like some sort of you know, like porn actress turned like, you know, crime fighting vigilante of some sort. I don't know. I there's something there that I feel like there's a market for.
That is true. Are you smoking weed, Matt?
He is.
I got a cigarette, and then I got this.
Yeah,
we're doing that instead. I'm not drinking right now, but I am taking little bong hits.
And mind you, Matt is not doing anything wrong because weed is 100%.
It's fucking legal in this state. Yeah, it's fucking legal around here. This is America, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'll smoke with you then. You don't have to smoke alone.
Let's do it.
All right, yeah.
Let's do the damn thing.
And one thing that I feel like. One thing I feel like, and Matt, did I tell you? I'm not sure if you saw the episode when I talked about it or not, but I did my first edible. Like I've never smoked anything. I've only drank.
You're such a fucking virgin, dude. Oh my god.
And my wife was like, I want you to do an edible with me. And then like, so it was like just like a little square gummy. And so I took it, and like she's looking at me, she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, what do you expect me to tell you, that I want to go outside and plant a garden of ladders? Like what
you take? You take that? I mean, did it whack you over the head?
It didn't. I mean, it was just one.
Was it CBD or was it like was it a strictly THC?
Oh no, it was a strict like weed gummy or whatever. Okay. But that's the thing. Like I've always drank. I never smoked or mess around with it. Totally ease me do that. So
we're gonna right one of these days I'm gonna take you out and get you fully corrupted, brother. We're gonna get some drugs. We're gonna get some drugs up in you, dude.
Can we do it? I once did that to one of my friends. He told me that he wanted to try MDMA for the first time ever in his life. And I was like, how do you want to do it? And he was like, I don't know, fucking surprise me, because he has anxiety. And I was like, are you sure? And so I made him sign a form and everything that I could dose him. And then
Jesus.
And so I picked him up one day and I gave him a Starbucks cup, and in his coffee it had MDMA, and he was freaking like going wild and having the best time of his life. So if you want to, we can dose you too and have a good time. So
yeah, I don't know about the like, but me, I just like, you know, let me clear out a day. You know what I mean? Let me make sure, like, if I'm gonna fucking party, like, I haven't done anything like that in fucking ages, but Like, yeah, that was usually make sure I don't have anything important that I need to be doing the next day, and let's fucking go. Like, now it's a bad idea to try to be doing that on like a fucking day-to-day basis. You
True.
know, I mean, it's just like anything else.
Like if you're
Moderation.
doing it on a Monday, it's like, okay, hold on.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's, it can get gnarly. Some people get carried away with shit like real quick. Like, but I mean, that depends on if you got like the personality for it. Like, I got friends of mine who like they're fine for like 2 or 3 months, and then they go on a fucking life-destroying bender. Like, I try to keep it somewhere in the middle now.
Everything in small doses, like everything in moderation. That's what my grandparents always told me.
Yeah.
They're like, if you're gonna do drugs, do them in moderation.
Yeah, and I just stay the fuck away from like heroin and fentanyl and stuff.
Don't do weed.
That's a good choice.
Don't do weed, crack, and meth all in the same like time, like that, because then things are gonna go south. So
yeah, that's all the nasty. You don't want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to do that stuff. Like,
what we're gonna do real quick is Freya, of course, all of the month of December, we have been getting into our segment called Smash or Dash. So of course we did it in October. October was a huge hit when we did it in October. So we did one for December, which were the 12 Smash or Dashes of Christmas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show 12 photos on the screen, and you are going to tell us whether or not you would smash or whether or not you will dash. So let me just go ahead and get these ready, and we will rock and roll with the 12 smash or dashes of Christmas.
Okay, awesome.
So here is the first one. So the first one is Jack Skellington. So would you smash or dash Jack Skellington?
I would shove Jack Skellington up somebody else's ass. Like I think it's somebody like Rebel Rider. She's an amazing person. You could probably take every inch of him. Like I think, yeah. So I would definitely like make his bony ass go inside of somebody else's ass and just watch it, like have fun with it. So that's what I would do to Jack.
So you would not smash.
I'd pay to see it.
You would smash him into somebody else.
Yeah, I would smash him into somebody else.
All right. So the next one is Krampus, but no ordinary Krampus, old school goat looking Krampus. And unfortunately, the crying looks to be eyeless children come along with the deal. So they're just crying in the background as they have no eyes.
Yeah, dude, but look at that tongue. You know that you gotta smash, right?
Oh, yeah.
That tongue is pretty gnarly. I would definitely want to make him cry while he eats meat. And maybe put like a leash around him and ride him around like a pony.
Make him cry. Wow.
I have a huge fetish for crying too. Like if he's on his knees crying up to me, his mouth open with like a little leash and collar around his neck, and I'm just choking him till his face turns blue. Riding around like a pony till I come. Like I think that'd be hot.
I feel like Krampus is the type that would eat the corn out of your shit, but also he has that hook. So with the blood play, he could hook you with that hook and make, the blood come out and, splurt everywhere.
It's very rare that I'm like the fucking most normal one in this conversation. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often in my life.
But like I'm also dumb. Like I'm dumb as fuck. I've only ever been a full dom.
Oh,
so
no
I
shit.
can imagine myself being submissive, but I can definitely imagine me doing freaky shit to him. Like maybe even like if he would let me use the hook to I forgot what it's called, but it's like that fetish where people have the hooks in their backs and they're hanging up in the air.
Oh yeah, the like the skin hanging or whatever. I got a friend of mine who's done that like a time or two.
Yeah, that's hot.
I can't fucking even like look at it. Like honestly, it fucking like churns my fucking stomach. But he was in his punk band and he used to fucking like wrestling style. Like he got kicked out of a venue once because he would blade before their set. And like a lot of people were like, is it fake blood? Is it real blood? Like one venue, he got up on stage. They found out that he was like in the backstage cutting himself. They shut him down. They're like, dude, you're not flinging your fucking blood around on my stage. Get out.
Hey,
yeah, shout out to Ted.
Clean,
Yeah, you would be a big fan of this dude.
Grinch.
The Grinch? You know, I can see me and the Grinch tag teaming one of those Who's. You know what I mean? Because he has kind of an attitude to him, but the Who's are kind of bratty anyway. So I feel like me and him fucking the brattiness out of somebody would be kind of fun, you know? And they have those little like beady noses. I would want to see like, I don't know how red it can get.
Yeah. What about Cindy Lou Now? Now, a lot of people don't know is that Cindy Lou Now is Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless. So if anybody knows the band The Pretty Reckless, that is who played Cindy Lou Who, and she is gorgeous. So that would be something that I would pay.
I did not know that, Ray. Thank you for those random trivia.
Yes,
I didn't know that either, but she's hot as hell because I do know the Pretty Reckless girl. She's so sexy. I always imagine like a threesome between her, Maria Brink, and Lizzie Hale.
Oh,
like, wouldn't that be hot as hell having like a sex orgy with them or like?
You got to throw Dorothy in there, and if you know Dorothy has to be tossed into that mix as well.
It would be hot. Or the lead singer of Nightwish, whoever that operatic lady is. Oh my god.
Yeah. I can't picture her now, but I know Nightwish. They're the one band I've actually seen.
Amy Lee into that equation as well. Amy Lee.
Yes. I want to know what kind of sound she makes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like that, she sit there and do that whole like opera, like Evanescence type, moaning or whatever, and all that. Like that would be completely amazing. Or Adele. Imagine Adele, like when she's just being plowed from behind. She just gets it. Adele.
That is so hot. I feel like Adele would make some sexy ass sex sounds.
Oh
yeah. Oh my god, those moans like mommy, mommy all the way. Would you guys call her mommy or no?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, you can call anybody that for the most part. What about Spike from Gremlins?
Spike from Gremlins, I would want to tie him up and make him watch me fuck all the female gremlins. Like, all in a little row. So like all in a little row in front of him. So they make little squeaks in front of his face and make it fit in his mouth. I think that'd be hot.
I guess that's a yes, because if you're tying him up and making him watch, then a sexual act is happening with him involved. So a lot of people say no because of the teeth, and I'm like, well, what if he gets veneers? Imagine Spike with veneers, just like those horse-like like people have or whatever, like just regular teeth in his mouth.
Yeah, bro, those fucking goddamn kitchen tile teeth. Yeah, the big motherfuckers. Yeah, like when it's obvious that they got the implants and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've had a bazillion fucking dental problems. I hear you. Take care of what you guys do, but that's just expensive. But yeah, some of it's a little bit much.
Yeah. What about Jack Frost, but not the regular Jack Frost? I'm not sure if
not Michael Keaton's.
The other horror movie Jack Frost. That Jack Frost, the one who takes his nose off, puts it down as a dick, and attacks Shannon Elizabeth while she's showering.
I would probably smash Jack Frost. I think it'd be hot. But I want the carrot to be on his nose because I'd want to melt his face so we can't anymore.
Okay.
But
I'm sure they can move it around.
Have like ass imprints for his eyes. So there you go. And then I poop all over him so he'll melt and go away. He's able to find his body.
They find him and it's just his
I mean, it writes itself,
I would hear it. There's no proof.
Oh yeah.
That stop sign would have a whole new meaning with Freya.
That's true, it would. We'd probably sell it. I'd be like, no more.
What do you think Jack Frost's safe word would be?
The safe word for Frosty?
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, my safe word for everything is pineapple, just because when somebody has a ball gag in their mouth, it sounds different from like, oh, true stop or pain. It's like pineapple and things like that. So safety first, kid. So I would do the same one for that, just because I know that's the only one I stick with.
Makes sense. What about the Grim Reaper from Scrooged?
I'd be like, take me now. Like, what's the holdup? No, I'm kidding.
But not only him, but you remember in Scrooged, he opened up his robe and had all the people
like the
underneath of it. So
that'd be hot orgy. Like,
I watched that the other day. It's a solid movie. It's an underrated Christmas movie.
Like on other people, wouldn't you be like, okay, this is pretty awesome. Like, let's go. That's 10 different mouths. That's amazing. I would make all of them eat me out.
Okay.
Everyone has personalities. Eat
Well, I
me
mean,
out.
that's the thing. You have so many that like they're grabbing different places, they're like
Mhm.
licking different places, they're eating different places, they're sucking different. Like, there's just so
Yeah.
much going on, and you have those like peering red eyes as well. Like he just, imagine what his vinegar strokes look like when he's ready to go or whatever. Like that, just mouth just drops open. The eyes start blinking relentlessly. Like, yeah, I mean, okay. Okay, so what about we're going to stay on Scrooged. What about the cab driver from Scrooged? But Bill Murray sits in the corner and creepily watches the way he's staring out of the cab.
I think that'd be hot if Bill Murray watches. But the creepy driver, I would want to face fuck him. Just because creepy people I'm like, they need to have that face fucked off of them. So let me be the one to do it.
Bill Murray
And so
watches as he
Bill Murray while I'm fucking the other guy's face, and I'm like, don't let this be a lesson. Tell your friends.
Bill Murray just watches as he pisses all over you, and he's just like, okay, well, I feel like Bill Murray's a
We
freak.
came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
And then I'll rob the cab driver, steal his cab, and we'll go to a strip club.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, what about Harry and Marv in their current condition at the same time?
I would make them fuck each other.
Who's Joe Pesci's has got to be top. Joe Pesci is not a bottom for anybody.
The vision that just came into mind is have like one
you
of the
motherfucker, you
go tied above, like spread everywhere, tied above, and have the curly haired guy on the bottom, both naked, penises out, aimed at each other's faces, one's drooping down, one's like just chilling there, and then I'll use vibrators on both of them and stuff to them until they both come, so they're forced to come on each other.
Nice. And Freya's probably taller than Joe Pesci, so that probably makes sense anyways. Like, he's gonna have to, abide by what she says because she's taller.
Degradation is hot. Like, let me degrade the shit out of you boys. Come on. You want to break into my house? All right.
Wait until you see what kind of traps I have set up for you.
Yeah, no, you should.
What about Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin?
Mr. Freeze, I would want to see what kind of like dick he would have, what kind of icicle he would have.
So massive.
Interesting to see, like, if he could grow it, like if his dick was like a piece of ice or something. Like, I would want to see what that looks like. So I would be super curious about it, and if it melts off or if it just stays there, or
and also during the whole thing is like, I don't know, would it kind of be depressing that he'd be crying about his dying wife while everything's happening?
That'd be hotter. I think that'd be sexier if he's crying like that. And if his penis was real, I would just like cut it off and feed it to him while he's crying. Because how dare you talk about another woman while you're trying to fuck me? What the hell? Who do you think you are, Mr. Freeze?
You get the whole Arnold voice, like, oh yeah, like the
yeah, I'd make him gag on his own dick. Oh yeah.
All right, what about the other Jack Frost? But the Jack Frost that appeared in, I think it was the Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause.
See, he looks like a little twink to me, so I'd want to tie him up on my sex swing and just go to town on his little asshole. And see what kind of faces he'd make, because he seems like he'd make a lot of faces, like a lot of expressions,
So when you say you want to tie him up on your swing, like, are you tying him up where like he's kind of like his legs are tied up and he's doggy style, or are you tying him where like his legs are spread out? Like,
so use him on his sex swing. Usually, it's like a swing where your legs are like this.
Yeah.
And I would have his legs like cuffed and his arms like cuffed up there, and his body tied to the rope up there, and so he'd just be there as a hole for me to just push as I please and do what I want. And then I'd probably just leave him there to dry, because he looks like he'd like to lay in his own mess, and that would be kind of hot to watch. And then I'd probably forget about him and but
just dies. They just find him days later dead with everything everywhere and on his head.
We'll figure it out,
What about Con Cornelius?
Oh, every chick wants to bang this motherfucker. I mean, like, I'm saying that unironically. I've seen.
Well, obviously he has a gaped out asshole because he's so.
Of course, I mean.
Yeah. So
any director worth their salt would see that.
Yeah. Right.
And
if he could stuff his own dick and balls in his ass for my pleasure. And then I'd probably just like let him eat me out because I think his beard would tickle me. And then I wonder if you could come in his own ass because I would like to see that come out and like make a mess of it. I mean,
listen, this was originally, it was just smash or pass. It was one word answers.
Now, this has taken such a great turn that I love it. And like,
or horrific, depending on how you look at it.
He's literally plotting the sexual humiliation and murder of all of these characters. Like,
that's what turns me on. So.
You know that the smile through my pain meme?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The Herald guy? Yeah, I noticed in the camera, I had somebody tell me before, they're like, you get that face going. And I noticed I had the smile through my like that.
And not last but not least, Ghost of Christmas Future from Scrooged. What do you think of Ghost of Christmas Future?
He looks like a gummy bitch. So I'd want to see what that feels like because I've never been with a bitch without any.
That's not going to work. I was trying to show that meme picture, but it ain't going to work with my phone. Hey, sorry about that.
Okay. But yeah, I've never been with somebody who is like a gummy bitch. So I'd want to see what that feels like. You know, I don't know.
So it's funny because Freya, like, I know when we did Smash or Dash the Halloween edition, Michael Myers won it outright. Everybody wanted to fuck Michael Myers. And I remember the last one we did, the last one is always the most horrible one. And it was Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. And nobody did it, but somebody said Tarman. I was like, oh my God. Like, they were like, I feel like it would be an amazing experience. And here we are, the final one for the 12 Smash and Dashes of Christmas. And Freya's like, I need to know. Like, I need to know. So Christmas Future has a chance. Like, his brittle, rotten, dead dick has a chance of what Freya Von Doom, what that ride is like.
Well, not his dick, but his face. Because I don't know. I ride a lot of dick, so I'd want to see what his gummy mouth could do, you know? Because imagine if you're face fucking a gummy bitch, what would that feel like?
Yeah. Also, is his face coming off?
Would I just be rubbing like my cooter all along? Like, or like watch him be opposite where his skin is all flaky and peely. Then I'm just gonna be pissed off and I'm gonna have to turn to abuse, like consensual like I would just get violent and have to face fuck him with a strap on until I come. I don't know. Like it really depends on his skin at that moment because I can't tell if it's flaky or if it's not. So yeah, but it depends on my mood and the skin.
And of course, we're here in the live stream, and Jason Rushman said, Freya, he will let you do anything you want to him. 100, 100, 100, 100, with a bunch of hearts, a crying face, and a thumbs up.
That'll work, dude.
Yeah. And Miles Jones said Ray low key sounds like Joe Rogan, and I appreciate that because we were once considered the poor man's Rogan podcast, and I was like, I will take that compliment 100%. I will take that compliment because that is one hell of a compliment. So Freya, with you being in the industry, what kind of injuries have you had? Have you had any at all? Like, is there anything that like jumps out of your mind that you're like, man, that really sucked? Like, it sounds like you've done a lot of stuff, a lot of fun, kinky stuff. Have you had any like crazy injuries from any of that?
I've given injuries, but the only injury I've ever got in my career actually happened recently, and it was because I was stupid, and I knew it was going to happen, but I was just like, fuck it, like literally, fuck it, let's go. So as you guys know, I usually get booked with massive dicks. That's what they like to book me with, like Brickzilla, Javon Jordan, all those fucking huge dick dudes, Dread, and all of them. So I was here in Miami because this is where I live, but I overbooked myself because there was a lot of people like just going MIA on scenes and things like that. Yeah. So I also work on the production sides of scenes as well. Like I'm a director too, and I'm a writer, and I work on production sides of porn too. And there's a few times where I was like, fuck, I have to step in or else we're going to have to scratch this scene. And so there was a time where I shot, I shit you not, 17 days in a row. And my pussy at the end of it, I had to go to my gynecologist, and she told me I had to take a month and a half off of work because I almost needed stitches down there. It was sore and so bad on the inside and the outside that she was like, "Did you have a baby?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh my God, like what that you need to stop." So that's the only injury thankfully I've ever had. But it happened this past October because I shot at 17 days. I didn't mean to shoot 17 days in a row, but like being on the production side, it's just like that's a lot of money and a lot of stress because it takes so much time for us to get a production together and everyone to show up and pay for testing and even travel sometimes and location. Like there's a lot that goes into it. And then if it doesn't happen, then it's just like, like it sucks for everyone. Like nobody gets paid and pretty much people will lose out on money and things like so. Oh shit, I might as well like since I'm here, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking go. And so that's the main injury that I've gotten in my industry is this past October. I literally tore my pussy like a mother.
So like I don't know if you remember old school Nickelodeon. They would do the commercials for Inside Out Boy. Like you walk into your doctor looking like Inside Out Boy, and they're just kind of like, "What happened to you?"
Yeah, what happened? Like my doctor, she was like sitting there, and then I leaned back, and she looked at my pussy, and she was like, "Holy shit, what happened?" And then the nurse looked over, and she's like, "Oh my God." Kind of thing, because it was like it was swollen. My vulva was swollen red, like a little beanbag ball that got beat up. So I was taking dicks sizes 7 inches to freaking 13 inches for 17 straight days, and they're all thick as hell. You know what I mean? So it's like so I fucked my pussy up.
I feel like Freya, just based off of, and mind you, we're almost an hour through this 2-hour show. And just based off of everything Freya has said, I'm literally sitting there thinking to myself, she's a Dundalk girl. Like I am like
don't do that to her.
I'm a Dundalk boy. And like I'm sitting there and that's not an insult.
Yeah, look at you.
But like and I'm like, these were the girls that we knew in our crew. And like they drank, they partied, they had fun, and this is the way it was. And nobody in our group had any shame at all. None.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I'll get naked in a public place. I don't give a fuck. Like, no.
You know how many times our group we would go to the bar and we just start taking clothes off at the bar, or we did 3 buses. We rented a bus 3 times on my birthday, and we did scavenger hunts. And these scavenger hunts included things like throwing up and re-drinking it, biting off your partner's toenails, running into a bar naked, which people did. Like there were so many things that like we based them off of things that we had already done before, and we were like, okay, this is what it is. And then like no one really got anything if they won. We just kind of did it as like the theme of the thing, but it was so insane. Like leave the bar with an article of the opposite sex's clothing of somebody you don't know. Like just stuff like that. And it was fucking crazy. And that's how we were. And every night was a party. And I'm glad that like, for shows like this that, we bring guests on and all that. And like people are always kind of thrown off because they're like, oh man, like, they expect us to ask 10 million questions and the guest talks all the time. And we're like, no, we tell our stories as well, and we feed.
I can't compete with any of this shit tonight.
So what I'm going to do real quick is, of course, we get into news articles as well. So let's see. So of course, New Year's is right around the corner. Of course, New Year's Eve is tomorrow night, and then we start 2024. So I found a couple of articles that had the weirdest drops on New Year's Eve. So of course, New York City does the ball drop. So there's other places that do other strange drops throughout, the United States and throughout the world. So in Memphis, Tennessee, they do the guitar drop. So the Hard Rock Cafe on Beale Street rings in the new year in Memphis with the annual guitar drop. The 10-foot Gibson guitar is dropped more than 1,000 feet as a part of a televised event that includes live music performances and a crowd of more than 50,000 people. So
wow,
that's one of them.
That sounds awesome. And that's in Nashville?
Yeah, that's in Nashville. And then
Nashville. That's one of my favorite places to travel to for vacationing.
Oh, we want to go so bad. Like my wife wants to go to where the hell is it? Gatlinburg. She wants to go to Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is absolutely, I heard, absolutely insane. But we do want to cross through Nashville also. And in Raleigh, North Carolina, they do the giant acorn drop. So here's what I'll do as I do these, because then that way you can see what these actually look like as well.
Sounds
So
lame as fuck compared to the last
this
one.
is the giant acorn. So they do the giant acorn drop.
Bunch
And
of fucking
it says
nerds.
December 31st, a giant acorn official monument commemorating the bicentennial of the city of Oaks is transported from Raleigh's Moore Square to the roof of the Civic Center, where it's dropped to celebrate New Year's. And every time
Hey Ray, we're gonna Baltimore accent. I want you to say Oaks again.
Oaks.
Oaks. You went. Hey, it's every episode. He'll have one where I just over here. He's like, some of the Oaks. I'm like, yeah, there it is. There it is. He's Baltimore as fuck.
In St. George's, Bermuda, is the giant onion drop. So they drop a giant onion in Bermuda. It says each year, St. George's, Bermuda has a giant paper mache Bermuda onion festooned. What does festooned mean? Festooned in holiday lights and is dropped in front of the town hall. So a giant onion. And then, wait, what? Electric moon pie drop, Mobile, Alabama. Moon pie, Mobile, is the annual New Year's celebration. Well, what about a cream pie drop?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Usually, Bill, someone would come and drop them. The cream pie.
They ain't into that in Alabama. They're a bunch of Bible thumpers down there.
A 6 pound electric fully lit moon pie. That's insane. And then the peach drop in Atlanta. That makes sense because they have the Georgia peach. So Atlanta, Georgia, that makes sense. Let's see. The orange drop in Miami, Florida. That kind of looks like the 7-Up guy more than an orange. Like I see the 7-Up guy with like the sunglasses on with that. So let's see. What the fuck? The clam drop in Yarmouth.
Made it a hairy clam.
Yeah.
Look how happy he looks. Like that's a wide clam. Like that is a beaten out clam right there. Like,
yeah, he's
that's the same thing our gynecologist said.
Yeah, I was about to say recommendation. I'll send it her way. I'm the best doctor. I see her so much. I love her.
The giant potato drop in Boise, Idaho. This will be the 5th year of the potato drop. Like whenever I hear drop, like I just hope that they did just drop these from a crane on top of people.
Yeah, something like that. Don't make it slow.
Just dead underneath a giant fucking potato. Like that would be an amazing way.
Over a big old tater.
The pickle drop in Mount Olive, North Carolina. So
I got a pickle drop for you.
It doesn't look like it's a giant pickle. Like I wonder if they just take like regular pickle. Oh no, it's right there. So I guess like they need to do like the whole sex thing with it. Like it just goes up and down.
I don't know. They're missing the boat with that on all these. Like the peach, I was just thinking about like why like not like a big fat round ass.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The peach, like the peach emoji that kind of gets used for that. Just I would be into that.
That'd be hot.
The cow drop in Marietta, Georgia. Marietta's New Year's Eve festivities, including ice sculpting, cosmic golf, and the dropping of Georgia-born franchise Chick-fil-A cow. Okay, that makes sense.
I didn't know Chick-fil-A originated in Georgia.
Yeah, I never knew that. I never knew that they originated in Georgia. So here's some other ones. So other ones are, let's see. If
tabs open. What is it? What are you looking at? I'm looking.
Oh yeah, he does have a lot of fucking tabs up there. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah. This is all on the agenda for tonight.
Okay. So we're not watching porn together. I guess we're not.
YouTube frowns upon those kinds of things. Or I'm sure he would have been doing that by now.
All right, there we go. So now that the computer was working a little bit slow and want to close out when I wanted it to close. So what we're going to do is momentarily we're going to take a break and come back with our games. But before we get into that, we're going to get into our 800 terms for the penis. So we came across a list that had 800 different terms for the penis. We are now on the letter H. So Freya, you tell us if you've heard any of these terms. We're going to read them off and we're going to talk about them. So the first one is a hatchet wound. A hatchet wound. Have you ever...
I thought that would be for vagina, not a fucking penis.
Yeah, like I wonder if someone would be like, would you like me to give you...
Is that like when a guy misses the hole? Like what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That might be when they fuck Freya. Like Freya's just giving them a hatchet wound. Like,
Yeah.
like
I just keep hitting them with my dick until their skin fries open, and then I'll.
And then there's.
What if they use their dicks to fuck wounds? That could be kind of hot.
Oh,
I'm gonna try that out. And
have you ever? Now that you said that, have you ever seen a series called Brand New Cherry Flavor? It's on Netflix.
No.
So there's a show. There's a series. It is a old school, like very gory horror series, and like the girl for some reason keeps on birthing random cats, but also there's a sex scene in that where the girl has like a pussy right here. She has it on like her side, and she hooks up with a guy, and the guy like fists her like side rib vagina, and like it's weird, but also like it's not weird to the point to where people looked at me and were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Because I was like, I want to see someone fuck that side vagina. Like that's what I want to see is someone just have their way.
Did the side vagina come like at all? Like,
yeah, I don't know, but like she kept on like dropping random kittens out of the side vagina, and like some random biker guy would show up and collect them for like some crazy. It was one of those shows that it happened in episode 4, and I was like, I now need to watch this show just so I can see how we got here. Like I need to know how this happened.
I think you would have to be on shrooms to even write a type of show like that. Like, how do you even come up with, hey, guys, in the writer's room, let's pick
it's
out
a grindhouse type show. That's what I was thinking.
That spits out kittens for this biker guy. She's fisted in it, but it doesn't come, but she knows it could come. I don't know. Like, who even thought? I think I would want to fist it. First of all, I want to see what it smells like and what it would feel like.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I have so many questions, and I have to
can you like fist her regular pussy and her side pussy at the same time? Like it's kind of like
give yourself a high five inside of her body.
Like the next term is He-Man. He-Man. So we all know He-Man.
Okay, yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense if you're into that.
Yeah.
Like, what if you put your hands on your hips, He-Man, and just comes all over? You'd have to have like a big ejaculate for that moment too. Or else watch you have the little drippies and you say He-Man and then it just drips out. That's not even you want the kind where you're gonna be like, it's a He-Man.
Yeah. Or you're fucking Skeletor. That's
Skeletor, yeah, there we go. Skeletor, yeah.
Yeah. And the next one is a heat-seeking missile. A heat-seeking missile. So if someone was like, hey, you want some of my heat-seeking missile? Like, is that like something that you would be like, yeah, let's get the heat-seeking missile?
I'd be like, are you about to play Battleship? Like, what's a heat-seeking missile? Because I like to give the missile.
A-24.
That would be a fucking. I don't know. I feel like you'd be the biggest douchebag in the world calling your dick something like that.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
How like a heat-seeking.
Where's Hog? God damn it, Ray! You have not said Hog yet. What the fuck?
I was thinking about. That was my first thought when you guys said it.
Actually,
yeah, I was like, Hog, motherfucker, Hog.
I'm looking at OHO, and Hog is not on this list.
What the fuck? Get rid of that goddamn list, dude.
Heat-seeking missile. I'm about to level that up. So heat-seeking missile. Someone also put heat-seeking moisture missile. Heat-seeking moisture missile. What about
Hog, brother? Look, cranking your hog, brother.
They have heat-seeking moisture missile, but not hog.
Yes.
Makes that make sense?
Actually, I looked down. I was like, hog is not on this list, but I get maybe. I mean, hog's so common that like maybe they were like, hey, idiot. Give me some words for this. And then the one after that, which we will conclude with tonight and we will continue with on the next episode, is helmet. So I don't know.
That's a part of it.
Like, I mean, if he had a helmet, I would assume he would have like a small penis that had like a really big mushroom cap.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, I'd be like, do you want your helmet to rub against my helmet, like my clip? Like, what's going on?
We're gonna smash our helmets together like two rams.
Yeah, like let's do it. I mean, I'll do that. I think that would be kind of fun. It would be squishy, but fun, warm, and inviting. So let's do it. Any one of you guys have a small dick with a big helmet, write me. Let's do it.
So Freya, what we're gonna do is we play some ads here on the show from some of our friends. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick, probably about 3-minute break. So if you want to hop up, use the bathroom, grab something to drink, right here on YouTube Live, Roku, and Fire TV, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back with our game segment. So for those of you watching us live, we will be back in about 3 minutes or so, right here on YouTube Live with Matt from Scissorfist and Freya Von Doom, right here on the Happy Hour podcast.
So jerk off fast.
Hey, this is Crystal Rush. And
Oh,
we are
she has a
watching
nice
Happy
tip.
Hour podcast. Yeah.
Derek Sharp, the owner of Curtain Jerker Designs, who does an amazing job. I'm blown away every single time, and his speed that he has getting everything back to us is immaculate.
Hit up Derek with Curtain Jerker Design.
Look no further than Curtain Jerker Designs. Make sure you hit up Derek.
Derek Sharp, man. Hey, just want to say thank you for the posters, all the hard work you put into, man. We really appreciate you, man.
A shout out to Derek Sharp from Curtain Jerker Designs. Yo, dude, just want to say, this poster, off the hook.
Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Jay Long, and I want to give a big shout out to my man Derek over there with Curtain Jerkers Designs.
If you are looking for the best graphics, the best designs, look up Curtain Jerker. I did.
Curtain Jerker Designs. That's who I use for any of my graphic designs, and you should too.
Thanks, Curtain Jerker Designs.
Big old shout out to Curtain Jerker Designs. You see that? You see that beauty? That's all you, Curtain Jerker.
Hello, wrestling promoters. The Big Valboski wants to give you a big tip. If you're looking for a graphic designer to do your next events, promotional posters, hit up Derek at Curtain Jerker Designs.
A lifelong wrestling fan, as we all are. I went through the part with the reffing, and I got to a part where I did ring announcing. I did everything there was to do. I had a match. But because I have that background, that's where I stepped in and said, hey, like, I do flyers. Let me help you guys out.
Hello, I'm Dennis with Checker Spot Brewing Company. We're located at 1421 Ridgely Street in Baltimore, right in the shadows of M&T Bank Stadium. Open 7 days a week with locally crafted beer.
Mommy, where are we gonna sit?
Well, Daddy booked the rental car. Let's ask him. Hun?
It'll work.
Hey!
What did I say?
What did you say, Dad?
Let's just check Discover Cars.
Get more for your money with discovercars.com and save up to 70% on car rentals.
Hi, this is Malika. Make sure you watch the Happy Hour podcast. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're right here live on YouTube Live. And of course, for those of you not joining us live, we're right here on Roku TV and Fire TV via Pod Nation TV. Make sure you find the Pod Nation TV channel on your Roku and Fire TV, and you can see all of our vintage and current run content on there as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into our game segment. So we play a series of games with all of our guests, and what we're going to do is we're going to start off with extreme personal questions. So extreme personal questions. There's 2 questions on the card, question A and question B. You have no idea which question you're going to get until you choose A or choose B. And then after that, you get to choose myself or Matt to answer the other. So, what do you feel is lucky to you, the letter A or the letter B?
I'll choose A because the immediate thought was the A team. So I was like, oh, yeah.
All right. So letter A. So that question is, what work of art best resembles your sex life and why?
Probably Macombre art or Macomb art, like very dark, demented artwork. That
Macabre.
yeah, I can't really say that word like right now.
Macabre.
Macabre, but yeah, I've been like really into that stuff, and I'm really obsessed with it because it resembles me as a whole. I like dark stuff, and I like demented things, and I find the beauty in it. That's why I like porn so much, because sex is emotion and motion. The rawest form of art that you can create with is a human body. And inside of the dark art, I see like they use a lot of the human body and the human form in like a tormented or contorted way. And for me, I find that very intimate and beautiful because of the deepness of it. And yeah, I mean, it could be scary as well, but when you really look into it, like there's so much depth to that art form that really captivates me. And
That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, that's you're talking to a guy who has horror tattoos all over his arms, and I have a Friday the 13th. My entire back is tattooed Friday the 13th. So yeah, so I understand 100%. So for question B, who do you want to choose for question B, myself or Matt?
Let's choose you while I have you.
All right.
Yeah.
So question B is, what type of fetishes do you have? So type of fetish, man, I think I've been over probably every type of fetish I could possibly imagine on this show. So mine, like, I don't know, like mine, I'm more of a big, like, I like scenes with like monsters and aliens and zombies and like just random, it's like a mix of like what the fuck kind of stuff, like a lagoon monster that just came out, and they like okay, well, there's this girl in a cabin, a lagoon monster comes up. What does lagoon monster want? Of course he wants sex. That's what he wants. Like stuff like that mixed with a lot of like, I guess, like and it's such like a weird like genre, like well, actually it's so popular, just like I guess the whole like mom stepmom thing, like it's hard to not get like kind of intertwined in that genre because it's just everywhere, and 90% of our genre, but also a lot of the horror stuff too. Like if there, I remember watching a scene where there was a scene, I forgot what studio did it, but I know Sabian Demonio was in it, and they had this girl, and like she was in concrete, and I remember she pissed all over this girl and then made her brother fuck her. And I was just kind of sitting there like, I've been to the bottom of porn. I've been to the deepest dark, and I was just kind of like, this is it. And like the whole time I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, is that real concrete? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's real concrete. It's more hot to me officially now. Like if it's fake concrete, it's not. But if this girl was like doing this, like working around trying to have this concrete and close her into there, like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, like weird shit like that. It's like
that's so cool. Where do you think that stems from? So you like people being encompassed in things? That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really hot. Do you watch a lot of like kink.com stuff?
No, actually, I don't. But here's
Ray's vanilla as fuck. He's just coming up with something right here.
No. Here's the thing, though. Like I don't even really watch a lot of TV. Like I'm one of those people that's so busy that like I don't get to really like watch like TV. And it's the same thing with that. So when I do watch, I just sit there and type in, oh, blah, 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 weird thing XXX, because it exists.
Recently.
Like what I think that was probably one of the most recent ones was that. And I forgot how I came across that. Like I just saw it and it was in the search results and I was like, yep, clicking on this and we are going to watch this, because like I'm one of those guys that, of course, being around and doing this show and being exposed to as much as I have, that just a regular scene isn't going to do it anymore. Like that's the thing. Like I am the angler fish, like swimming at the bottom of the ocean, like looking for something that like, it's just, it's weird. Well, it's not, it is, but it's not. But yeah. So
he's gay is what he's saying.
So funny.
So what we're going to do is next we're going to get into Never Have I Ever. So never have I ever. It's 3. She's like, oh fuck. It's 3 random cards drawn out of the deck. If you've done it, take a drink or raise your hand. And if you want to give an explanation, you can. If not, we will not hate you for it. So the first card is never have I ever been in a cult. Never have I ever been in a cult.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a
Well,
cult.
I had a fan try to start a cult like thing where they were sending me where they got at least like 10, 15 people signed up and like they all praised like this little I'm trying to think of the word right now. It's like I'm blanking out, but like this whole like thing of me where they had like all these photos and like a blow up doll with my face on it and all that. So I wasn't involved in that at all, but I just found out about it through
Or like
Mildly concerning.
Were you like their god? Like they worshipped?
Kind of, yeah. Like it was weird when I found out, and this was like a few years ago, and I was just like, okay, like this one fan pretty much made
This
like
is
a
happening.
like thing where people religiously go over and look at my stuff, and I was like, that's weird. I mean, it wasn't a lot of people, thankfully. That's weird as hell, but like I've had something like that. Now I wasn't part of the cult, so I can't really drink to that, but I'll still drink just because I like to drink and I'm here. But
Yay!
That works for me. So never have I ever been laughed at naked. Never have I ever been laughed at naked.
I've never been laughed at naked, but I have made girls like at one point in my life I was really into like when girls would like giggle and stuff at me while I'm fucking them, so it makes me angry. And it was kind of like I don't know, like I go through these weird phases where I have these random like kinks that I'm like super into.
Yeah.
And at one point, like I was very into like girls that were just like egging me on.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And so it made me want to fuck them harder. And yeah, and so now I'm really into brats. So yeah, it's the opposite of that. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I've been laughed at naked, but not ever at the point of someone laughed at me naked. It's more so I like, and as I said before, like we've taken our clothes off at the bars and stuff like that. More so of laughing because we're getting naked or laughing because we're having a good time while we're naked. Like we were the type of group that like my friend would be showering and we would be drinking downstairs and we'd be like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go hop in the shower with Bobby while he's showering. And we would just take our clothes off and he'd be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We'd be like, we're going to make love tonight, boy. Like, you know, whatever. Like, just shit like that. We're
See,
like, after
once again, he's gay. It's all good.
Yeah. And then you know,
like the beginning of a Team Skeet porno.
Yeah. That's exactly what it does.
I love it though. As long as you had fun, like that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all, and that's how this podcast started. Was I was like, you know what? I just want to come on here and talk with people and have a good time. No set agenda. We're just gonna rock and roll and see what happens. You know, yeah. And so here's the last one. The last one is never have I ever been high at work. Never have I ever been high at work.
Do you know my job? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was
smoke weed. I love smoking weed. So like I'll smoke weed while I'm in hair and makeup and I'll like be high for that process because it takes hours until you're actually shooting or like doing anything. So you're just sitting there from like 8 a.m. until like 1 p.m. not doing shit except for in hair and makeup, getting ready, going over lines. So I'll smoke during that. But like I'm never stoned or anything during the actual shooting because I have to be sloppy as fuck and you can't be that when you're high. So your mouth up, so I'm very known for being sloppy. Like I had so much saliva go through a freaking mattress that was dripping on the floor, and so that's now why people have to put plastic on any item that they have. Like I shot with Jules Jordan for a dread, and I warned him about his carpet, and he was just like, "No, I'll be fine." And he was like, "Oh my god, my carpet," because I got so much slobber. But yeah, no, so. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I've never been high at work, but I have drank at work. So I took a drink because I have drank at work, and I'm not sure if you heard it. I was telling Matt I took, and my wife had me take edibles for the first time like a couple weeks ago because I've drank, but I never did anything else. So like she was like, you need to do
such
something.
a good Christian boy.
Yeah. So like I was like, okay, I'm fine. But I wish my old co-host Matt, like unfortunately he had to leave the show, but he was such a stoner. Like we went to Exotica the first year and he ate a whole fucking what was it, Captain Crunch edible before, and he was so whacked at Exotica. Like
you gotta set the tone, brother.
Awesome. Yeah.
You gotta set the tone.
I mean, why not? Have fun with it.
Yeah.
And plus, like, if I'm not in front of the camera acting, like, I'll be high as shit, like, directing people. I think it's more fun to tell people how to fuck when you're high as hell. You're like, you know what would be cool? This predicament. And they're like, oh, that's weird. Okay. And then the fans love it at the end. So,
yeah.
my thoughts are always the best thoughts. If you're behind the camera and you're, like, directing people or you're writing the scene. I get high and drunk all the time and I'll write out porn scenes.
Yeah.
And then let's say I read it and I'll sell it off and people are like, this is great.
I used to do that all the time with pro wrestling. Like something would just pop in my head when I wrestled full time for 20 years. Something would pop in my head. I would make a note of it because I'd be like, this would make a cool gimmick or this would make a cool spot to do in the middle of the match.
Like with the whole get up and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
What was your nickname? Like, what'd you call yourself?
When I first started wrestling, my name was Gold Thumb, and I was part of an evil group called the Legion of the Ungood, and we were evil villains, but we were horrible at being evil villains.
Fucking people? Like, why do you?
Yeah, and I had like a thumb glove that was gold, and then 2 years later, I took the mask off and I became Chase Rawlings, and I stayed as that character ever since. But no, you probably can't see it as much on the camera, but I have like a replica of some of the belts that I won behind me. So, and that actually reminds me of our next game. We just announced last week that our HHPod Rumble, which Matt, you've been a part of both of them.
Oh, they're a wonderful disaster, brother.
Which is based off the Royal Rumble, and it is based off this game, which is Incoherent. So what we do is we invite back 30 former guests. They play this game. We give them 30 seconds and 15 seconds to answer the cards. The winner gets sent a custom-made authentic championship belt. Johnny Goodluck and Jupiter Jetson both have won. They won 2022, and Jupiter Jetson won in 2023.
This is my fucking year, Ray.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into Incoherent. So basically what I'm going to do is, Freya, I'm going to show a bunch of cards on the screen that are in drunken lingo. So it's good that you've been drinking and smoking because you'll be able to pronounce these a lot better. And one or two things are going to happen. You're going to get them like that. Like some people get like that autism like snap to where they boom automatically get them the hardest terms, or your brain's going to fully shut down looking at these cards and be like, what the fuck am I looking at? So let me just go ahead and get these ready. I'm gonna pull them up here and you are going to let me know what you think these cards say. So here is the first one. What do you think this says?
Ben cannot wait. Penetration. Penetration. I don't know. Penetration.
I got it.
And there are hints.
I don't know. I don't have it. I think I need to get more drunk.
One of the hints is entering the hole.
Entering the hole.
Entering the hole is one of the hints.
You don't pronounce the B?
Well, I always tell people the best way to do it is say it fast, but also kind of say it with a southern accent.
Oh, okay. See, that's probably why he got it. There we go. All right, let's try it.
Ready? I mean, you want me to answer it or what?
Yeah, let's go. Oh, wait. Answer this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it.
No. Okay, you answer it.
Penetration.
It is penetration. It is 100% penetration.
Okay, I would not have gotten that.
What do you think that one is?
Oh,
I'm an English major. I have to like.
I told you. Like, you don't like that, or your brain shuts down.
It's like, no, that doesn't seem right. I don't know.
So if you were to say this slow, like kind of say this slow.
I think she just said it.
What'd you say?
Eat me out.
It is eat me out. Yes, it is. And the hints were a naughty entree, and I'm not sure if this is naughty or a sign of cannibalism. Those were the hints. So here is the last one. What do you think the last one is?
Mouth of a hooker.
It is not.
Mouth fucker.
You have the second part, which is fucker.
I mean,
you say when you step on a leg.
This is honestly the easiest ones I've ever seen you give out, right?
Really? See, I'm so bad at this. I don't know.
Motherfucker.
It is motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, this is. I mean, like Ray's had ones on here where it's like, I don't know how the fuck people figured
There
it
were
out.
ones that it was a hot dog in a hallway, like just
Oh.
stuff like that. So now, Freya, imagine doing that, but imagine having to answer those in a 15-second or a 30-second interval. Like that is what
I would get a 0. Do you guys get the prize for the last place?
So the HHPod Rumble, for everybody watching at home, the HHPod Rumble will be back on June 7th, 2024. We will be inviting back 30 former guests. We will be playing Incoherent, and it will not be on YouTube Live. It will be airing exclusively live on Roku and Fire TV.
Oh my God.
TV. So you will not be able to see us here on YouTube probably for about a month or so afterwards. It will be airing on Roku and Fire TV live. We already have a couple of guests who said that they will come back. So over the next couple of months, we'll be announcing who will be returning. And of course, the winner will get a custom made championship belt. And it will be sent over to them. And, that's the whole thing. So we conclude this segment, which this segment is called Ode to Humanity. We conclude this segment with nothing other than Cards Against Humanity. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Oh, yeah, I have. I love it.
Right. I've had people come on the show and they're like, I've never played that before. And I'm like, you're in for a treat. So Freya, of course, we can't have cards in front of you on the show. So what we do is kind of like the first game. We do it roulette style. So what we're going to do is we're going to read off the face card, and then you're going to choose a random number between 1 and 6 to randomly answer that card. If you don't like it, you get 2 rebuttals to choose a better card. So the first one is this month's Cosmo. Spice up your sex life by bringing blank into the bedroom. So what do you think? 1 through 6.
Oh, okay. Let's go with 3.
3. All right. So this month's Cosmo. Spice up your sex life by bringing a bus that will explode if it goes under 50 miles per hour into the bedroom. So
with my ex, yes. A nice card for that one.
Are you satisfied with that card, or do you want to
No, let's do another one. That one doesn't sound sexual enough.
Okay. So now 1 through 5. What do you think? 1 through 5.
4.
4. All right. So 4. All right. This month's Cosmo. Spice up your sex life by bringing the hard-working Mexican into the bedroom.
I'm glad I chose number 2. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really satisfied with that, because what if I get tired? What if I get hungry? He's already ready to go. He's tapped in. There you go.
So are you keeping with that, or are you going to choose another card?
I like that one. I'll choose the hardworking Mexican. I mean, I'll make more the money with the.
She's going to hold with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the rest of those in for the next episode. So we're going to do a second. So the second one is, what's my secret power? What's my secret power? So 6 random cards drawn out of the box. What do you think? 1 through 6.
Let's go for 6.
6. What's my secret power? Toni Morrison's vagina. Toni Morrison's vagina is my secret power.
I'll have to choose another one because I don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Who is that?
So let's see, because I kind of don't know who Toni Morrison is.
Yeah, I was gonna say to have her name dropped in that, she has to be somebody.
Morrison. So Toni Morrison, she's an American novelist. Okay, so this is Toni Morrison. So your secret power is novel writer Toni Morrison. So you're going to have Toni Morrison's vagina. That is your secret power.
She would have a gorilla grip pussy, like one of those nice juicy pussies that just hold on.
Oh yeah,
that's the kind I like. That's my pussy too. So I have one of those. So I would say, yeah, never mind. I'm staying with that card. She's a winner.
So you're going to stay with Toni Morrison? Okay, cool. So
I would have sex with her. I'll DM her.
So that is our Ode to Humanity segment. So real quick, let me go back to the live stream. I'm trying to keep up with this for the ones that are here for the live stream. So let's see. So so Jason said, Freya, what is your favorite horror movie? What is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie. Ooh, that's hard. That's real. Damn. Why do you have to do that? Why can't you just ask me my favorite movie of all time? That's a way easier one than just horror. Well, favorite movie of all time, Lord of the Rings, director's extended cut, Till I Die. But favorite horror movie? Why is it that the movie that stands out to me is The Evil Bong? But I don't want to choose that one because it's a horrible movie. But
I never even heard of that one.
It's The Evil Bong. It comes to life, bro.
I mean, I
it's as
figured
bad
that,
as
but-
Rubber. Have you ever heard of Rubber? And it's the tire that comes to life and it gets mad and it pulsates
Oh my
and then it
God.
kills people. Yeah, look up Rubber.
I'll
Rubber.
look that one up too.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I watched what was it, the fucking Killer Donuts or some shit. Whatever the fuck it was. It was terrible. But I watched it. It was amusing enough. I watched that Winnie the Pooh movie too. That was pretty. I actually liked it.
Was it scary?
I mean, it had cool kills. You know, if you're watching it like any other old slasher movie, it's good enough. I'm with it. I will watch the sequel. It was about an hour and a half long, and I didn't and it was entertaining. You know, so
Okay, true. I would say one movie that creeps me out to this day are like The Hills Have Eyes. That family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's rough.
I guess if I have to choose a horror movie, that one scared me the
That
most.
had a pretty intense
Yeah.
fourth sex scene in that movie
Yeah,
as well.
And I think that's why I like hardcore sex so much. Because growing up, looking back right now, I watched a lot of movies like that, and now I get turned on by that. So I'm just like, wait,
Wait a minute. There's
wait
something
a minute.
This wasn't supposed to work like this.
Vibrate it out and see what goes on.
So going back to the stream also, Miles Jones. Miles asked, "Hey Ray, can I ask your guest, are we going to see Freya Von Doom versus Jack Slayer? Are we going to see Freya Von Doom versus Jack Slayer?"
Well, I love Jax and he loves me. And we were texting a while back about shooting. I know that he's in Miami now, so I have to hit him up to shoot. I just haven't gotten around to doing that because I've been doing my own stuff at the moment. I don't really I shot a lot, like I said, and then I took like a mini break because I feel like it's important for everyone, especially in my industry, to take breaks for your body and your mental too, because you do get
especially when you shoot 17 days in a row and then you become
Yeah.
cowboy.
Yeah, and you get disconnected too. Like for me, sex sometimes when I'm shooting a lot, then it just feels like I bring that home with me and the same mindset in the bedroom, and that's not good. So I've been taking a mini break. But when I get back into shooting, I'll get back into shooting in February, like normal porn again. And I'm definitely gonna hit Jax up because he texted me to shoot, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's fuck it. Let's go. I feel like I've slept with everyone, so I'm like, let's go. Let's add another notch to my bedpost. And I love the fact that now all these big stars are DMing me and texting me to work with them, and I'm just like that's a cool feeling too when you have all these people that you've looked up to your whole life. And then now they're texting me out the blue and they're like, "You're my biggest crush." And I'm like, "No way. You've been my
Yeah, it's that validation.
By any chance, can you
that's a crazy
say who?
feeling. I've been getting a lot lately, and it's been kind of like, wow, that's cool.
By any chance, would you mind saying any of the names?
Yeah, Kendra Lust. I love her a lot, and she likes me too. We flirt a lot. And then Chloe Temple's really fun. She's a freak. Anytime she sees me, she plays around with her tampon string if she has one in, because she knows I like blood play and things like that. So, but a lot. I love everyone that I've ever really worked with for the most part, and yeah. So, but it's pretty funny when I show up on set and they're like, "Oh my God, I've always wanted to work with you. Oh my God, you've been my crush forever." And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, bleed into my eyeballs. I need you to.
and I feel
right
so
here.
miserable because I'm like, who am I? You have millions of followers and stuff, and you're crushing on me right now. You know what I mean? So it's been pretty fun. So, but Jax is one of them where he texted me, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty dope. Oh, cool. So yeah, I will be working with Jax soon, probably in February, whenever I feel like getting back into the swing of that again. Because lately I've been working on music videos. I have a music video I've produced that's coming out the 1st of January. So I'm really excited about that. I was directing in on the production side of that. I can't really name it because I'll end up doxing myself if fans look it up. And yeah, that would suck. But Hopefully, yeah. But yeah, no, I've been mostly working on mainstream stuff.
Nice.
These few months, but I'll get back in the swing of things in February, and I'll be back everywhere.
Have you done anything with like AI type stuff or like any like the VR stuff or anything?
I've done a lot of VR. I actually direct for a VR company.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like real.
Yeah, VR is insane. Like when I bought an Oculus, like that's one of the main reasons why I wanted an Oculus was because of VR porn. Like it's just completely, it changes the whole atmosphere of everything. Like you can literally look around as things are going on. Not like you would like, why would you look around when you can look down or look, wherever? But it's insane the way a lot of that works. And the reason I ask is because AI is becoming unhinged. And I came across a video of somebody who put a robot in a situation where he was working at Amazon and the robot got so stressed out, he killed himself. So let me find the video and I'm gonna play
it. Broke my heart. I was like, wow, like that is like when I saw that initially, I didn't think that robot was actually working. I thought it was an art statement, like an art piece that speaks to like the reality of like the common worker today. And then I found out that that was an actual robot produced to make that, not as an art piece. And that broke my heart even more. I was like, wow, a robot can't even do this repetitively.
This robot was programmed with AI technology to work a minimum wage job without tiring. However, after approximately 15 minutes of the robot doing basic work, it decided that it would rather shut down and essentially kill itself, determining that was the most logical choice. This is extremely unsettling. Considering a robot would do this, imagine how humans must feel that work these jobs.
So
I don't know if I buy that, dude. I don't know. I smell
every
bullshit.
day I wake up and go to work. I am that robot every day when I wake up and go to work. I'm just kind of like,
I mean, dude, I suspect that this is worth a Google. I feel like this is probably more like the art statement. It doesn't fucking compute. Because that's a fucking machine. It shouldn't fucking matter. What does wage difference mean? You know what I mean? Like, they make a mention of the minimum wage job. Like, okay, but like, it's a robot, it's a machine.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Don't need money. Like, what's the whole point?
Yeah. Now that being said, I'm glad I don't work at Amazon. But you know what I'm saying?
What about this? A Tesla engineer that was left with an open wound following a horrific attack by a robot. So
I mean, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen when you're messing around with robots? Like, they're very unpredictable. They're not like human, or like the animal instinct is to look into the person's pupil and be able to tell what the next movement is, and you can't tell that with a robot. So they're already taking that risk. I feel like if you're already there, you should have signed a fucking waiver that said I might be damaged goods too. You never know what's gonna happen.
Like that, and it says a Tesla software engineer has been left with an open wound on his left hand. Oh, and I said, see, I read the article because I look at these articles and I don't read them. I wait until we go live to read them.
Clickbait, bro.
Following horrific attack.
Go live to see the shit show.
Yeah, and it's like been left with an open wound on his left hand following a horrific attack by a malfunctioning robot at the company's Texas factory near Austin. Witnesses claim that their fellow employee was attacked by a machine designed to move aluminum car parts, the information report says. His two colleagues said that the robot pinned the engineer and sank his metal claws into his back and arm, leaving a trail of blood along the floor. The incident, which took place in 2021, while the victim was programming software for two disabled Tesla robots. Oh, so he was trying to protect his buddies. Like, he's trying to program these robots. Yeah. He's like, nah, get off. Like, T-1000 was like, no, this ain't gonna happen.
What did they program these robots with for them to even have a reaction that way? Because you have to program that sort of reaction to anything. Like, it's a robot. It doesn't have a free will to think or do or act. So who taught it that? Who programmed those actions within that robot to leap?
This one sounds like all right, maybe not bullshit, but it sounds like misinformation. You are, dude. You are like the poor man's Joe Rogan, bro. You're misinforming the fuck out of people.
Freya, have
Jamie,
you ever
fact check that.
Speaking of horror movies, have you ever seen any of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies?
It sounds familiar. I feel like Are those older?
They are older, and
Where?
they're Christmas-based ones. And there was one. It was Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, and it was called the Toy Maker. And he made like a robot toy, and the robot toy wanted to love, and it fell in love with the kid's mother. And there was this weird like robot like forced sex scene, and like the robot didn't have like a penis. It had like just like that regular like action figure like plain like torso or whatever, and like you just get the scene of her bent over and like the robot's just trying to get, but it doesn't have like parts or whatever, and she's screaming like there's four, and I'm like, it doesn't have parts. Like I don't like
You program that robot to be a sex robot?
yeah, and I was like, this was almost hot, and then I saw that it did not have it did not have the parts that it needed for this.
No. That's sad. I mean, I'm sure he could have went into the drawer and found a suction cup one.
Yeah.
You know?
So Freya, so imagine this: like you're sitting there, and there's a knock at your door one day, and you open the door, and there's a robot programmed for sex standing outside your door. So is Freya going to let the robot in and see what the robot has in store, or is that robot leaving out of your place tears, crying oil down its little tear ducts when you are done with that robot?
I would make that robot sign an NDA, so when it leaves with tears and a few gears missing and broken parts back to whoever its creator is, they won't be able to ask questions legally. And I have an NDA for that. So if anyone has a robot that they want to send my way into,
Oh shit! So she has a ready.
You got one ready to go, huh?
Hanging on her wall. She's like, I'm waiting for the day when Johnny 5 shows up to my house, and I just sit on his VCR looking face, and this is what happens. Like,
I'll make him do a VR porn within my pussy if it was a robot. I'll be like, let's get deep, let's go. Like, do you have that kind of technology, or do I need to send you back for your brother? Like, what's happening?
that robot turns to a life of murder after it meets Freya, because it's going to get for blood, and then it will lust
Or
for
it just
blood.
dies of crippling anxiety. I don't
It goes back to its owner, and it's covered in blood, piss, and semen. And they're like, "What the hell happened to you, robot?"
It was a good time. I don't know.
And Freya, I must say, we're getting a couple of comments in the theme. They're like, Freya is awesome. They're like, she's so open and all that. So yeah, we
honestly, I've been on this show a bunch of fucking times, and like it it can be hit or miss, like with guests sometimes, like or they weren't like they're just not talkers. Like I'll run my mouth. I just can't, like with some of the you start talking about blood shit and like all that. I'm like, this is where I check out. Slightly.
That's like, this is where I leave. I'm gonna sign off. Of
no, I'm here. I'll hear every fucking word. But it's like it's like, but then I don't know. Like,
well, what kind of sex do you like, Matt?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm like I like aggressive shit, but like nothing like over the top weird or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like
a little bit of choking, a little bit of
what's
slapping.
like aggressive though? Like restrained, like handcuffed, like.
I don't really go too far like that. I mean, I have, but like it's not really.
It doesn't do it for you.
No, not really. Like it's just I don't know. I mean, I guess listen.
Are you more of a lover? Because that's cool too. I mean, some people
I am like that a bit. You know what I mean? Like I could be a little bit like I guess I could be Dom or whatever. But like honestly, a lot of that stuff there'd probably be a good chance that like I couldn't stay in like any sort of like character. You know what I mean? But and that I like chicks with fat asses and big tits. Like I'm a big dude. I like thick women. Love them.
I like thick women too. I'm so small though, so I use booty tape. They have like this booty kind of tape that you can buy at the sex store, and it holds the cheeks open and everything, so you can have sex with really thick women and be okay.
Oh.
No shit.
Everyone out there that's small like me that likes all sizes, because I'm like freaking Hakuna Matata. One big one, small ones. One's as big as my fucking head. I don't care. So, I'm doing a pitch for booty tape. Put it there. So if you just like me and Matt, like the thicker ladies, put it on. There you go. Well,
I
I like
didn't know
all
that was a thing. I never needed, but
true. I feel like you have big hands. Like you'd be able to hold it open. I'm talking like people.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
doing-
yeah, for sure.
I
Like
get
I can handle me some big ladies.
Matt's hands are like those like scalpels that like they open a vagina with. Like he's the vagina scalpels. Like,
That's right.
Yeah, Matt. So I have to ask you now. Of course, you do metal. So
I
you
do.
a lot of the. Have you ever done that as you've come? Like, have you ever like come?
No, I'm not really like terribly vocal, but like I've been reported because like I don't really pay attention to it in the moment, but like I've been told like it's like I deliver a good grunt a lot of times. Huh?
Channel 9 News. It's been reported that
Oh yeah, as I said, reported.
Hello.
I took a lot
My neighbor
bigger.
is killing somebody.
No, it's like just such a fucking like big guy thing, like like you know what I mean? It's like, of course I make that fucking noise. Probably figure that out looking at me.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like I know what that big boy does over there. Yeah, certified hoss, brother.
That's so funny.
Cranking my hog, brother.
Oh my god.
What do you guys like to role play as?
What's that?
If you guys role play in the bedroom, what do you like? What's your go-to role play?
Oh, go-to role play. Oh man, Matt, I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, fuck you, dude. I mean, I ain't got nothing like that specific. You know what I mean? Normally it's just like aggressive, like, push you up against the wall kind of shit. I haven't done a whole lot of like role playing or really weird shit like that. I just haven't. It's not, but now like I like to consider myself relatively open-minded, but like,
what about your dream role play? Would you want to be like a fireman or something? Or like what would your ideal role play be? If you could have a girl be like a super freak that's like, let's role play, baby. Give me
I'll be right back.
I mean, it would probably, well, okay. First of all, it would be what she's into.
Okay, so
You know
if I came over and I was like, hey, Matt, let's role play right now. What do you want to do?
What do I want to know? That's why I said I'm asking you.
Oh, well, I'm asking you. What makes you think like, whoa, like what's the first thought in your mind? Like, I want to be a police officer. Let me freaking cuff you up, baby. Or
I did take that back. I did now the thing is it did road work at the time, but I did rock the safety vest and like the hard hat.
Oh,
like and basically just go, and like run business like that. But I mean, that was like it was like a precursor, and then like, it's like, all right, all that bullshit was ditched, and we were just, but yeah, like done that. But I mean, that's all like to me. I feel like that's so fucking PG. Like, why don't even bring that up in here? Like, like when you'll be like, you fucking pussy. Why don't you take a fucking 3-foot dildo and ram it up your own asshole while you're fucking, and like, okay, all right, y'all, like, more power to you.
You could put a dildo at the end of a power drill.
Are you talking about like the dick saw? Like
Yeah, or like you could freaking put like fuck a chick with the end of a sledgehammer, like the handle or something.
I mean, I guess I'd probably be down for that.
You could do with that. What about
if she was into it? Yeah, that would be the.
I have the bladder of a toddler, so I had to go pee, and I come back and I walk back to handle of a sledgehammer in the pussy, and I'm just like,
she's grilling me over about trying to get goddamn.
I think mine and I
she's running the show now.
I don't do a lot of role playing, but I would always kind of wanted to do like a Michael Myers kind of like, somebody trapped
done that
and being stalked from afar, type thing or whatever. And it's the whole, you're just doing regular tasks like washing dishes, whatever, and all that. And you have no idea that somebody's watching you from outside. And then the next thing you know, they come in and then all of a sudden, whatever happens, happens. Like, you know.
So you would want to be Michael Myers, right? You wouldn't want somebody else being the Michael Myers creeping on
No,
you.
I would want to be Michael Myers.
No, he wanted to be
the
pursued
fucker and not the
Comes
fucking.
in the room while you're trying to do dishes, and she's like, da 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 da.
Oh yeah. That's where the blood play comes in. It's like I have to stab you in your titty first. Like that's
goddamn bunch of fucking animals.
Right in like the titty meat. And then it's just kind of like, oh, Michael, like I know you're stabbing me to death, but hey, how about I like just cup your balls for a little bit or whatever.
Why wouldn't you?
That was my hope.
Cup my balls already, would you, Ray? Jesus.
That was my hope when we went to Salem. My wife and her cousin went to Salem, and I was Michael Myers when we went to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. And I was just kind of like, I hope that like sex didn't happen because my wife's she's like, well, my cousin's here, like blah blah blah. But I was just kind of like, I want to have sex. And, like it didn't happen, but like Salem just itself.
You fucking nerd.
Because Salem itself on Halloween was insane. So there was a lot of processing that had to happen, like, but no, like stuff like that. So, now that Freya has opened the door.
Hey, I wish somebody closed that motherfucker already.
Matt, what is it with the yellow? I know you have a yellow Sharpie. Like you were talking, you have like the yellow Sharpie in your hand. I'm like, are you like just sitting there like dabbing it with your tongue? Oh, you're drawing.
And listen, though. My ears, bro. I'm involved. I'm responding and shit. I do this shit at band practice too, and they bitch at me. And I'm like, honestly though,
it's on the next page.
Yeah, dude. Look, hold on. I got something for you.
Okay.
I drew this just fucking around the other night. I mean, like I like DC comic book characters. Okay, so I started doing this, right?
Oh shit!
Now at the end of band practice, I come down the next day. I come downstairs, and something's been added to it. You can't really. Can you see that? Yeah. So, and I was like, which one of you fucking pricks did this? And he's like, yeah. He's like, and then like the other day, he's like, hey, if you go downstairs, can you send me this file off your computer when you're done drawing dicks on superheroes? I was like, you fucking assholes. Yeah, but I got a sketch. Dude, I'm not very good at it, but like, it's the thing I do, and I like smoking reefer and I'm sitting here chilling and hanging out. So,
you're doing good though. What sketch did you just do? Like, what are you working on right now?
This is it's just. Look, I actually watched a YouTube video and kind of how to do a cartoony version of the Flash, and it's just ahead of his. I actually had that penciled out the other day. I'm just down here coloring it in because it was in front of me from the last time I was sitting down here. So
super cool. And you said band practice, so you're in a band. What kind?
Yeah, I'm in a band called Scissorfist out of Baltimore, Maryland. It's like Baltimore hardcore beatdown music. If you like punching faces and stuff, it's that kind of deal. I do the. What's that?
Can I play it at the dungeon? Like that kind of music?
I mean, if you're into heavy shit, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely do it.
Matt,
I would be fucking honored.
Yeah. Matt, why don't you send her some of your stuff and she can play it?
I can do that. I actually already followed her Instagram with the band page.
Okay.
So I'll get the rest of the socials. Every time I'm on here, whoever I'm on here with, I usually do. I find them and they find me typically.
And of course, if anybody missed it earlier when we opened the show before Freya came through, we did announce that this episode was the final episode from Roses Unread and their song Creatures as our opening theme here on the Happy Hour podcast. And it will actually be Matt's band Scissorfist with their song Burden that will be picking up on January 6th, which will be our next episode here live on YouTube Live. And their song Burden will be carrying on for the next 6 months for our opening theme right here on the Happy Hour podcast, of course, here on Roku and Fire TV as well. And Freya, I think we're going to go ahead and let you get ready to get out of here. We're running on the 2-hour mark, which it's amazing how quickly time.
This has been a very nice, enjoyable podcast. This might be this may be my, even though I was sitting here gawking at some of the, because like some of the shit, like, it's just I get like that about it. You know what I mean? I was raised Catholic and shit. It's like, oh geez, like, anyway.
Those are the biggest perverts. I love it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't listen to any of that shit, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
But you have been a very, very, very fucking enjoyable guest.
Freya
honestly.
is
You've
one
been
of
an
them.
absolute.
That's
yeah.
what it is. She is, and as I said, when I said you were like a Dundalk girl, don't take that as an insult because
You should though.
Freya, you are the type of girl that ran with my crew when I was younger. Like that's the whole.
Yeah, no, I was a wild child too. My first ever job was a drug dealer and club promoter.
Fuck
and
yeah!
I used to go up when Carnage and all of them first started blowing up. I used to hang out with them all the time. Like I wish that social media was really popular back then because we only had Facebook back in the day. And I'm 31 now, so back then, like when I was in my early 20s, I used to literally hang out with famous people constantly because I worked for iHeartRadio too.
Oh wow!
Promoters, and so I'd always be up on stage. So your stories, me and you, Ray, we would have definitely partied and
and I mean
all the drugs, all the alcohol. Oh my god!
Look at it like this: I did pro wrestling for 20 years, and there were times where we would book our wrestling shows around our favorite strip clubs. So we would sit there and we would look, and we'd be like, okay, let's go to this horseshit show that's probably going to have 15 fans in the crowd in West Virginia. But they have this amazing strip club. So we would book ourselves at these shows and we would request to be the first match. Then that way we could go out there, wrestle our match, get done, go to the strip club because in West Virginia they were open until 4 a.m. Drink till 4 a.m., do nothing but shenanigans, and then drive home, and then do it again the next night, and so on and so forth. And that's the thing. Like people ask me, they're like, how come you never made it to WWE? And I'm like, because we were too busy booking around to go to certain strip clubs when I should have been wrestling for better companies.
Made more of a party out of it.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'm guilty of that shit too. Well, I'm not the rest of my band, but me. Everybody else, most other guys in the band are like damn near sober. I'm the one that usually gets fucked up when we get.
I love it.
Yeah.
When do you play often?
We've been. I mean, as far as in the surrounding states, we're just more like a regional band. Right now, we're on hiatus until March.
Sometimes I go up to Baltimore. Sometimes there's a few companies out there that I work with. So if next, I'll hit you up and see if you're playing. I'll show
Fuck yeah!
Oh yeah!
Fuck yeah! That would be awesome. That would be a great tip of the cap.
Other porn stars out there with me. I'll make them come too. I'll be like, hey,
I was gonna say I don't know if we got them. I don't know if we got many of them over here.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was studios out here or anything like that.
They fly you out there, so
I got you.
Nice. And Freya, it was a pleasure. And I extend this out every so often to people. If you ever want to come back and hang out with us and guest host with us, it's pretty much the same thing, just with whatever other guests we have. Because that's the thing, like pro wrestling was able, and right now, real quick, we're gonna let you get out. Are you still good to hang out for a little bit longer?
I have nothing going on. I was just going to play Skyrim after this.
All right, cool. So real quick, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get into a little bit of a 2023 synopsis for the show. So pretty much everybody knows that pro wrestling was the main reason why this show existed. It let me be able to go out in front of a live crowd, perform, and be able to call it on the fly. That is the basis of this show. I go on, we start recording. Whatever happens, happens. If we don't get to our segments, we don't get to our segments. But it lets me, in a live situation, be able to work and figure shit out. And there's so many other shows out there. Thank you to the shows that sit there and tell me all the time, I don't know how you do it live. We would never be able to do our show live. And that's what I'm used to. I don't know anything else but hosting the show live. And 2023 has been an amazing year for us. Unfortunately, we lost our regular everyday co-host, Matt. He had to leave the show. Of course, Matt from Scissorfist, of course, Tommy Simbazo, Eric Woodworth, Ashley Pontius, Jerry from Share a Pint Podcast. If I'm forgetting anybody who's helped us, who's came in to guest co-host, Caitlin Bell, all kinds of people who have come in, hung out with the show, all of our amazing guests for 2023. Of course, we were nominated for AVN last year. We had a lot of fan voting this year for the AVN, so we may very well be nominated for AVN for Best Adult Podcast this year. It's been an amazing year. Of course, we got hooked up with Rob from Pod Nation TV, which airs on Roku and Fire TV. That is a big thing for us. Our YouTube got monetized. We have more social media engagements than we ever had. So I appreciate the fact that you guys love our wild, what the fuck is actually happening.
Yeah, dude, I
right
got
now.
so much fucking foot traffic from being on the episode with Daisy Taylor.
Yes, yes.
Dude, yeah, no, I had the one guy like hitting me up like I knew her personally.
Yeah.
He's like, "How'd you get her on your podcast?" I'm like, I was like, "It's my buddy's podcast." I was like, I don't have any further information if that's what you're seeking.
Yeah.
And like, why are you hitting me?
Podcast? Do you guys only ever interview porn stars, or do you guys interview other people, or like
It's mostly fucking porn stars.
So the show, if you guys, so that's a good question, Freya. I appreciate you asking that. So for those of you who watch us on Fire TV and Roku, you will notice we have our current run episodes, which this episode will be uploaded tomorrow. Our current episode, our third episode with Natasha Nice, is currently up there along with Liani Lay, which is our 200th episode. Those are all up on Fire TV right now and Roku, but also our vintage episodes, which I think right now we're 41, 42, and 46, that are currently on there, are a lot of episodes. Like we would kind of, when we started off, we didn't have as much of adult film stars. We originally did not have the mentality of doing that. Like this show evolved from Happy Hour TV, which was a local access TV show we did in 2009, 2010. We had Jessie Jane on the show. We had Lisa Ann. We had Nikki Benz. We had all them. And it was just us getting drunk, recording. It was kind of like Jersey Shore, but like sort of like mixed with the Man Show and mixed with Howard Stern. And somebody...
I saw you had a post recently, Jersey Shore, that reminds me of the club.
Yes, Karma and Bamboo.
I interrupt you. You just reminded me of that post.
Yes, they got demolished. So, and fortunately, I was able to go to both of those clubs. We were huge Jersey Shore fans. I was able to go in 2010, 2011. Wild trips. Like they were complete wild trips. I'll remember them forever. One trip I went on, I was single. The second trip I went on, I had just met my wife and we were together for a year when we went the second time. But both trips were absolutely crazy. But no, it evolved from that, and people were like, why don't you keep the same theme? So over time, it kind of evolved. Like we were like, okay, well, myself and my old co-host Matt, shout out to Matt. We were the type of guys that would sit there and we would be at a bachelor party, a baptism, church, wherever, and we would be laughing about the most vulgar, obscene shit you could possibly imagine. I was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do with the show. But when we first started, we had on guests that were just kind of more so normal guests. And Matt, you've been here for some of them, where their PR rep would not let them know how balls to the wall our show were, and they'd be like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, there was a time or two where this was some awkward shit, and I like, homie, you just trucked through it.
And Matt would be like, oh man, I feel so sorry for this person. But also it's like, it's not my fault you didn't do research, but also this is what our show is. Your PR rep should have told you. Yeah. But it's the kind of thing that over time, I feel like our adult film guests, we could be ourselves. We could talk about whatever the fuck we want, but also the adult film community embraced us. Of course, shout out to Erica Icon from the Rub PR. We've been with her since day one. She considers our show the fun show whenever she sends guests over. Everybody loves the show. No one's ever had a complaint. Like we come on, we have a good time. And that's
wait till this one airs.
Yeah. So authentic. And it feels like I'm just chilling with my bros.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the way it is. I like more of an organic reaction than a whole. We have a whole note, and we're just like, so when
you guys don't send me anything before this. Like, I love that because sometimes I'll be on podcasts and they'll give me like a rundown on what topic so I can plan ahead what I'm gonna say, and I'm like, okay. Cool. But you guys didn't do that. You guys were just like, here's the link, click on it. Come on.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I kind of like put out like random stuff of like topics we want to cover and stuff like that. But if we get to them, we get to them. If not, I have that uncanny ability of being able to like navigate through them. Okay, well.
He's very uncanny.
Yeah, I heard this. Now we're talking about this. Like, we went to Exotica with a whole plan, and then we ended up running into a guy who did acrobatic stuff. And I was like, this guy's a fucking mutant. Like this guy can lift people and do acrobatic shit.
Yeah, those
So
people are wild.
yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, you come with me. And we went around to all the guests we knew, and he did like acrobatic shit with them. And that's mainly what our whole episode ended up becoming. But no, again, thank you for everybody over the last year. Of course, the last 4 years were, June will be our 4th year anniversary. That'll be entering us into season 5. We appreciate everybody who loves the show, supports the show. Make sure on YouTube, sign up for our membership tiers. We have 3 membership tiers. The triple shot tier allows you to get entered into a pool to possibly come on with a guest of your choosing. So if Freya is ever back and you want to come on, hang out with us. As long as you're respectful and you're not weird, we'll bring you on. We'll bring anybody on, hang out. You're weird, we're gonna boot you. That's just the way it's gonna work. Like we don't deal with all that bullshit. But if you want to hang out, have fun, laugh with a guest, make sure you sign up for the triple shot tier, buy some merchandise, subscribe, make sure you follow Pod Nation TV on Roku and Fire TV. Freya, it has been an honor and a pleasure. I would love
Yeah, it really has. It was dope.
maybe as a guest co-host or anything like that, because I'm a guaranteed. You never know who else is going to be with me each and every episode. So where can everybody find you? If they want to find you, don't give out your address, because you're going to have some guys go up at your house and cut their nipples off and go, here's my blood, please
I
take it
If
down.
I knew my address, I'd give out the Orlando one because that one has the red room in it. I won't give out my address. You're fine. You're fine. But yeah, you can find me pretty much all over your Pornhub page. I'm on the front a lot. But mostly on Twitter. That's my main thing that I'm on. OnlyFans I'm on. This is my 4th time at Instagram. Hopefully it stays up. Every time I have an Instagram, I'm like, is this gonna be okay? And then I'll get those. So right now I have an Instagram, it's staying up, we're good. I have a TikTok page, but today I posted a video and I didn't realize in the background there's a dildo, but for some reason they cleared it. So I may or may not have a TikTok page tomorrow.
We've been banned once, and I haven't went back. We had kind of a big following there, and then they banned us because of our language and our content and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what, fuck TikTok. I don't need it.
Yeah, no, TikTok, when I mostly stayed up in my red room up in Orlando, when I had lived up there. I don't know why I talk like that. But yeah, anytime that I'd post a video in my red room at all, like no sex toys, nothing on my wall, because on my walls I had like a wall of dicks and a wall of paddles and like things, but I take that down for the videos and my videos would still get flagged, and so this is my 2nd attempt at TikTok for that reason. So I have the same hatred towards that platform as you, unfortunately. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok and all that. I started a Twitch literally this week because I had a huge fan base that's been bothering me for like years to start a Twitch and a YouTube for gaming. So I game with my feet up and I pretty much hang out and I'll talk about random sex stories, whatever I'm getting into for that. And then I have a huge fan base that's into my voice. So YouTube, I started a YouTube recently too, where I just read to people. I've literally gone to the point where now I'm just reading. So it's
She puts her feet up while playing video games with peanut butter from her knees down.
Yeah, you can watch me play video games with peanut butter. You can also see me in Hustler magazine. I was in there this year.
Nice.
So it's really fun. I'm in a few music videos coming out. Yet again, it's kind of a weird area working in mainstream and in porn for me, because I'll be working on a mainstream project and I'm out there, and then sometimes a fan will see me and he's like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing in this music video? So I have a few music videos coming out this year that I'm in. So if you see me, don't dox me. I love you. But yeah, you can Twitter is my main thing. OnlyFans my main thing. Instagram, and yeah.
What's your handle on Twitter?
My handle on Twitter is Freya_Von_Doom_. Just because when I originally signed up in 2015, somebody apparently had that name, but I've never been able to find another Freya Von Doom, so I don't know why Twitter.
I remember you saying that. I'm like, why did they do that?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, but for Instagram and all those, it's the same Freya Von Doom, so you're fine. You can literally Google me. I'm the only Freya Von Doom out there on Google, which is awesome. There's a few other Freyas out there, but no Von Dooms, and none of them are also dominatrixes and dungeonesses. So
you need to do
find me on anything. If you're like, hey, I wonder if Freya does this, Google Freya Von Doom Twitch.
Google.
Freya Von Doom does Dr. Doom.
Yeah, 'cause I would love to do a porno like that. What? Okay, so when you say that, do you see me fucking Dr. Doom or Dr. Doom fucking the universe out of me?
I feel like that it's two ways. Like you need to
This
fuck
is for the
Dr.
fans
Doom.
right now. If
and
I
then
do
you
make
need-
a video, I would make it as per whatever you say because I'm kind of freaky like that. So
You
come up
need
with
to
a
be-
cool idea.
you need to have Dr. Doom fuck you, and then you need to be a female Dr. Doom, where like you
Okay.
have like this weird like
Universes.
female like Dr. Doom costume, but like you have like an open mouth so you can do things with your
Yeah.
mouth, but it's like the
And Dr.
Dr. Doom.
better too, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of ideas, mainly crazy and weird ideas come out of this show. So
Yeah, no, that was great. If any of you guys watching have any ideas, fuck it, I'll do a Doctor Doom versus Doctor Doom scene this year. Let's go. Write to us wherever that you want them to write to. Some scene ideas, and I'll fucking do it, and then we can come on and talk about it.
nice. And also Freya, as I said, we're going to get ready to wrap up here on YouTube Live, Roku, and Fire TV. Thank you so much for coming on to our show. I hope you had an amazing time, and we would love to have you back, even if it's just you, me, Matt, and a guest. Normally it's a 3-spot with hosts. It's just me and Matt tonight. So if you ever want to come back, I have your contact information. I'll let you know, hey, these are the dates that we have. If you want to come hang out, bullshit with us and our guests, we would love that.
Oh my God, I would love to. If you have any models come on that you're like, wow, this is an insatiable fucking freak, Freya would have a blast talking to me. You have my number. Literally just text me. And if I'm traveling or something, I'll hop on online. I always travel with my computer and my phones. So
And we also have our gimmicks and all that too. We have our games, we have our news articles, which also lead into so much craziness that we do. So what we're going to do, Freya, we're going to have you hang out for a second once we conclude to do a plug. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. Of course, we're going to be back here. Our first episode of 2024 is going to be January 6th. So January 6th, we're going to be back 7:30 p.m. Alyssa Vera will be our special guest, so she will be joining us here, and we will be announcing our whole schedule for January coming up soon. So I always book about a month or so in advance, so you'll be getting that, and then February's guest will probably be announced the first week of January. So, just make sure you keep on, as I said, subscribe, find the Pod Nation TV channel, and make sure you follow us on all the social medias, and make sure you follow Freya. Freya is awesome. We've had so many comments on the social media page. She's been one of our funnest guests that, we've had. So everybody love Freya. So make sure you go over, follow her, send her some requests. Actually send her the weirdest, oddest requests you possibly can. That's a request from us. Send her the craziest shit you can think of. And
I love to see the crazy shit you guys come up with. Even if it's not your fetish or your kink, if you're like, this is fucking wild, I want to see if you can do it, send me it.
Yeah. Make sure you say the Happy Hour podcast sent us. And then she knows you watch this episode and you are fucked up like the rest of us. But we're going to go ahead and conclude here. Once again, thank you for joining us right here on the Happy Hour podcast. We will see you next time, January 6th in 2024. Here on the Happy Hour podcast.
Awesome.